The pressure is on after a dazzling performance in the Grade 1 Whitney. Gunrunner continues to thrive. He'll look to add the Woodward to his impressive resume. And Michael Dubb has won 12 owner titles at Saratoga. He's going for his 4th consecutive. Stacked with entrants on closing weekend, can he keep the ball rolling? It's uncommon to see a horse win 3 times in one meet at Saratoga, but what about 4? Voodoo Song will attempt to do something that hasn't been done in over 60 years. Welcome to Saratoga Live, presented by Claiborne. 100 years of doing the usual, unusually well. And what a day it is. Look at the crowd that's on tap here at Saratoga as we're rounding out the meet here, final closing weekend at Saratoga, and it's a beautiful day here. We'll take a look here now. I'm your host, Gabby Gaudette, and pleased to be joined by New York Racing Association's Andy Serling and four-time All-Star Paula Duca. Welcome, guys.
Well, it's great to be here. I tell you, we've had some slow closing weekends in the past. I mean, it's absolutely mobbed. You would think it was Alabama Day. It's that crowded, and it is a spectacular day with great races, too.
We've been blessed. We've been blessed with some unreal weather throughout this whole meet. And Gabby said it right out of the outset, the crowd is amazing. The apron is completely full, and we're only in, race 6. We got a ton of racing left, some good races, and we might be looking at the best horse in training. Some think Arrogate, but Gunrunner today.
But I'll tell you something, there are 2 Grade 1s later in the card, but they don't, the Saranac does not take a back seat.
No.
This is a Grade 1.5 to 2 masquerading as a 3, and it'll be very interesting to see if Voodoo Song can beat tougher horses in this race. It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy indeed. It's a contentious field, but the field is definitely filled with some storylines, and one of those storylines is Voodoo Song as we head out to Linda Rice's barn with Maggie standing by.
Thanks, Gabby. Most horses that we see up here in Saratoga maybe run twice, and they're lucky to win one of those starts. Very rarely do we see horses make 4 starts up here over the 7-week meet here at the spa, let alone win all 4. Well, Voodoo Song is going to try to do just that in today's feature race on our show, the Saranac. Now, he's won all 3 of his starts for Linda Rice, who does have some experience in getting horses to win up here consecutively. City Zip comes to mind, but it's been 65 years since Native Dancer won all 4 of his starts up here at the spa. Let's see if Voodoo Song can do it as he takes on pretty tough company in today's Saranac. Guys.
Well, thank you very much, Maggie. And now taking a look at our track conditions brought to you by John Deere. We are fast and firm on the turf. And as you can see, another glorious day set up here for Saratoga. And here's a look at the rundown of the races we're going to be showing you today. Races 6 through 9 we'll be bringing you. We started off with a very competitive maiden special weight for those 2-year-old boys, followed by 2 nice 2 other than allowance optional claiming races, 1 on the dirt, 1 on the turf, and we cap it off with a Grade 3 Saranac, a very, very contentious field.
Now, there's some really good racing in this car and some nice horses. Chad Brown obviously has a pretty strong hand.
Yes,
he
he
and
does.
Todd Pletcher have tied things up in the trainer standings, and Chad is a firster of Venezuela who's taking some money. Todd Pletcher a little bit longer with Biblical, but I think, Paul, this race is more about horses with experience.
Yeah, Lion Knight, probably the horse that will be your favorite when they sprang the gate.
Well, before we get into today's races, wanted to remind everybody about the $200 sign-up bonus. You can bet all the Saratoga action right from home by opening a Naira Bets account. After opening your new account, bet 200 and get 200 by using that promo code PICK5. Go to nairabets.com to get started. All right, we're taking a look at the field to kick things off, guys. Race 6, a very competitive maiden special weight. We have the 9 Lionite opening up as your 2-to-1 favorite, first trainer Steve Asmussen. But this field is going to be competitive.
No, this is a terrific looking race, and we've seen some very good horses. To honor and serve, actually, a future Grade 1 winner made his debut on closing weekend at Saratoga. Now, looking at Lion Knight and Bourbon Resolution, they both finished 2nd and 3rd behind a horse, Mojovation, who we'll see in the Hopeful on Monday, who may well be favored. And do you look at this and think, I want to see these horses run well, or I'm going to be a little skeptical of Mojovation in the Hopeful?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you want to see. Lion Knight I thought was very good, and I thought Bourbon Resolution, you can argue that the 6 might have been a little bit better than the 9. I thought the 9 had a decent setup, but they both lost to a talented runner, you know?
You and I are very much on the same page, and people will look at it and say, well, how can you say that? Lionite beat Bourbon Resolution by 5 1/4 lengths. But the difference was that the rail was very good that day. Lionite sat very comfortably behind Mozovation, and actually it was Bourbon Resolution who was wide, and also he was the only one trying to force Mozovation to run early. And Lionite just got that very, very cozy trip, while Bourbon Resolution, the worst part of the track, did more work. He did, however, beat him by 5 lengths.
No, he did. I get what you're saying, but you see Lionite going to roll up the rail here, gets a great trip, and they're running just to a better horse. Steve Asmussen, the trainer of this horse, the 2, now the 9 today, over the years has been so good second time out. So you would think the 9's going to improve, but he gets a tougher post position, Gabby. Now you got the 3, gets a little bit maybe of a better post position with Bourbon Resolution.
Yeah, we could see that. Here's taking a look at the 6 Bourbon Resolution, who also comes out of that race. How do you guys think that, if he can, turn the tables?
I think he can, and I'm actually betting him in this race.
You think he goes to the front?
It'll be interesting. I mean, could he go to the front? I guess he could. I mean, chasing Mozovation suggests he will be forwardly placed near. I guess it depends on the firsters, too. You don't know. There can be some rocket ships. I think you and I are in the same place here with this horse. We want to take a 5-1 on him as opposed to 2-1 on the 9. I just think he's a better bet on the value.
I just think he goes to the front because when you look at some of the pedigrees in here, good pedigrees, not taken away. The 2's a tap it. The 3's a tap it. The 4's a perfect soul. Nothing against Dallas Stewart, but he just doesn't crank his first-time starters. A lot of these horses want to go long. That's probably why they're starting at 7 furlongs.
Well, Polly, you mentioned an abundance of excellent pedigrees in here, and the 2 Biblical definitely showcases that. For more on this horse, we head to the paddock with Maggie.
And Gabby, you said it. Biblical? Well, he better have a nice pedigree with that kind of name, that's for sure, as he'll make his first start for trainer Todd Pletcher. He is a Tappet half-2 Princess of Silmar. And yes, Princess of Silmar, she was the only one who was any good so far out of the family, but the other ones were by, well, lesser known, lesser kind of commercial stallions and successful than Tappet, as we see the multiple graded stakes winning Princess of Silmar taking down our Alabama boy. She was a very good 3-year-old. Now, looking at Biblical here in the paddock, he is a bigger, solid horse. You know, I think about that family, and they've been kind of on the smaller, lighter frame side, and he's not. He's every bit of a man, if you want to say that. He looks a little bit older than what his age is, and 2, he reminds me of a horse that's a little bit on the stuffier side, like a horse that will benefit from getting racing, benefit from that kind of fitness. Now, he did work last week with Hazit, who was a first-time out winner for trainer Todd Pletcher last week. He wasn't going as good in the early stages of that work, but after the gallop out, he was. So he kind of gives me the inclination that he's a horse that might do his best running late. Moving on to number 3, Hofberg, for trainer Bill Mott, another son of Tappet here with another very nice pedigree. He's a half-2 Amaliat and Cordier, 2 very nice kind of more turf horses, but Amaliat, she was efficient enough on the main track, and looking at this guy's work heading into this 2-back, heading into this effort, he's very headstrong. He almost looks like a horse who might have a little more early pace than we usually see from Bill Mott firsters. I like him. He's solid. He's ready to go. Talking about number 3, Hofberg, I think based upon that work, I like what I see. Moving on to number 7, Venezuela. Now, he's another one that is very fine-tuned and cranked up for this debut. He's very fit. He's a beautiful frame of a horse. He will be one that, as he gets older, he fills out a little bit more, but he has been on his toes. He's on the muscle. Another one that I watched his gait workout, and he was very quick away from there. So one that might show a little bit of early speed. At least that's what he's showing his hand for, and I don't think he will have any problem with the 7/8. Very well prepared for his debut by Chad Brown, guys.
Well, thank you very much, Maggie. Great stuff there from the paddock. And we're taking a look at the 7 Venezuela for trainer Chad Brown now, who currently stands 1 ahead of Todd Pletcher. This is going to be a tight trainer's race to the finish. But, Andy, I'll ask you this. Do you think that this horse might be at a little bit of a disadvantage, considering that he's starting out at 7 furlongs today?
Well, you know, I think the point is well taken. Experience always counts in maiden races, especially with 2-year-olds. You can gain so much from just one race, even if you run 7th in them. And 7 furlongs adds a new wrinkle to that. And I also thought Paul made a great point earlier that frequently the ones starting at 7 because they don't have a ton of speed. Having said that, a good horse, first-time starter, could easily win this, and Venezuela could be just that.
Yeah, Venezuela. You know, Violence was such a good 2-year-old. It was a shame we didn't get to see him run at 3, but here's Slot, and I'm interested in him, and the reason why. His race was confusing last time. He got what we call blind switch. You hear that a lot in harness racing, where another horse goes by him, and he sort of surprised him a little bit, and he got steadied a tiny bit, and then he sort of re-rallied on the grind. When I watched the race, I think he wants further. I still think he wants further than 7 furlongs.
I have mixed feelings. Let me ask you a question, Paul, and Gabby as well. This horse was 12-1 first time out for Todd Pletcher. Doesn't that scare you a little bit?
Well, considering that National Flag was in the race, and he was the horse that took the majority of the money, I don't know how worrisome I would be.
I'm a little concerned about a 12-1. I prefer others, but he can win.
All right, well, that's the field. Riders are up. We are 10 minutes out from the 6th race. We'll get to the post parade after this break. But first, whether it be in horse racing or in the community, whatever Michael Dubb does, he pursues it with passion. We'll have more on the successful owner later on today.
Claiborne Farm presents Trap Shot. This graded stakes winner and multiple Grade 1 performer is now an emerging young sire. His top runners include Fish Trap Road, winner of the Grade 3 Dwyer Stakes, plus 2-year-old stakes winner Mirai, graded stakes place Quick Release, and Grade 1 performers My Man Sam and Wild Shot. Already ranked among the nation's leading sires of 2-year-old winners, Trap Shot has the speed, the class, and the pedigree to remain Tappett's top side. Trap Shot at Claiborne Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use Naira Bets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. Naira Bets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NairaBets.com.
You're watching Saratoga Live as we are 7 minutes out from the 6th race. The one Eclipsed Moon sent out by Ken McPeak. Dylan Davis in the saddle.
The turf to dirt move has worked before for Ken McPeak.
Here's a look at the 2 Biblical. We'll have to draw the rail today for trainer Todd Pletcher and China Horse Club International.
Yeah, this gray is a half to the Kentucky Oaks winner, Princess of Somar, so plenty of pedigree here.
The number 3 Hofberg and the famous silks of green and pink for Juddmonte Farm sent out by Bill Mott.
Terrific pedigree and some nice words from Maggie.
There's a look at the 4 Soul Beam. Paco Lopez in the saddle for trainer Dallas Stewart.
One of your longest shots on the board. Maybe next time around when this horse wants to go a little bit longer.
Todd Pletcher sent out the number 5 Slot for Harold Ventures, making his 2nd career start.
Ran well enough first time that with the added distance can certainly be a factor.
Well, maybe experience will pay off with the 6 Bourbon Resolution, trained by Ian Wilkes.
Yeah, really 2 really good starts. And Ian's the kind of trainer that takes time with his horses. Look for this horse to improve.
The number 8 Night Strings there for trainer John Kimmel, making his 2nd start. Kendrick Carmouche in the saddle.
Didn't take much money first time out, and he's going to have the blinkers today at 38-1 last time, 48-1 today.
Chad Brown and Robert LaPinta send out the number 7 Venezuela right now at 6-1.
$300,000 yearling purchase for Chad Brown. Could be a runner.
And here is your current 9-5 favorite, Lionite, sent out by Steve Asmussen and Winchell Thoroughbreds.
A very promising second behind hopeful favorite Motivation in his debut.
And a big price at 30-1 to round things out. Wake Me Up at noon at by Temple City.
Yeah, 30-1 for Ray Handel, a young trainer that's having a pretty good meet.
All right, we'll see the number 6 Bourbon Resolution right now at 5-1. And Andy, how do you kind of approach this race first and foremost?
You know, I'm going to bet this horse to win. I really think this horse is okay. I have a feeling that, unfortunately for Paul, we may be on the same page here. I get the feeling you like him as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
I really like a horse that chased like that outside, and I thought his debut was also good behind a promising horse for Dale Roman. So I'm hoping he's aggressive today, and I think he has a big chance to upset the favorite.
Yeah, his race first time out was good against Hollywood Star. I thought he hung a tiny bit, but he was wide most of the way. So to me, he had an excuse there. Then last time, they put him up on the pace. I think maybe they can find that happy medium today.
And Ian Wilkes is a trainer that rarely wins first time out. And if he has a 2-year-old or even a 3-year-old first-time starter run well immediately, it bodes well. That was the case with Salty, who ended up being privately purchased, but she ran well in her debut, and she's a stakes horse.
You make some good points. If they're good early, they continue to improve. Or seeing the 5 slot right now on your screens, and he looks a little bit of aggressive here, but second start for trainer Todd Pletcher behind one of his highly regarded horses, a National Flag first time out.
And National Flag is another horse who's a player in that hopeful. I mean, Todd Pletcher doesn't just have Motivation, and Gage, who finished second, ran the best race because he was involved in the duel. I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach, but you may be right. He may improve with distance, Paul.
This is a tough read. It really is. I have a feeling this is the type of horse, a lot of these horses, when they're big and rangy, I don't know if he's big and rangy, but with the way he runs, he can't get stopped. He has to sort of keep his motion, and I think he can win this race. But he's a grinder. He's not going to just give you that kick.
Looks like the 5 has left the pony for more on slot. Let's head out to Maggie.
And guys, I think his name may or should have been Little Punk. He is just that. And he was like that in his first start, too. Whenever you see Todd debut his horses as 2-year-olds with blinkers on, it's always, well, a cause for concern with me as to their concentration and ability levels. I'd like to see this guy act a little more professional. To be honest, he took off away from the pony, bucking, and still he's being rambunctious. So, you know, it's good energy. It's nice he's feeling well, but I just question his overall focus. But the horse, honestly, that I was just drawn to in the paddock, no surprises here, is your current 8-5 favorite, the one with experience, and that's Lionite here. He was very, very quiet, but physically he looked like a horse that would be quick, so I wasn't surprised to see him kind of mid-pack. That's exactly what he kind of showed to me in his debut. This time around, though, he's way more on the bridle and looks as though he's strengthened out of that race. He just looks the picture in here. Yes, I wish he was coming back going the 6, but his first race would suggest that he'll be just fine going the 7. Guys?
Thanks very much, Maggie. And Lionite, well, it's interesting, though, right, guys? Because this is a horse who ran incredibly well first time out behind one of Todd Pletcher's highly regarded 2-year-olds in Motivation. And the success in Steve Asmussen in sending out second-time starters at Saratoga, you cannot overlook that.
No, I don't disagree with that. But here's the question. He ran so well in his debut. Can we really expect him to take a big jump forward? I prefer him when they run lousy and you get a good price.
Yeah, I guess where you're going there. You know, the horse he put 3 more works into the Son of Quality Road, and Motivation, Son of Quality Road, so pretty good for that sire. I thought he was okay. He was 7-1 that day. You know, do you want to take 6-5 here? Now, when you're coming to pedigrees, like we were talking earlier, this is a horse that half the Princess Silmar, who won the Kentucky Oaks being the Great Beholder, gets the rail. You hate to hear horses that sort of can finish. You know that they can finish, but they have trouble breaking. But if this big gray happens to get out of the gate, he's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, one thing that worries me a little bit, Princess Silmar is really the only one in that family that was a runner, and she was terrific. So you wonder, was she kind of a freak?
She might have been.
Well, that's a good question there, and she is conditioned by Todd Pletcher. I do agree, as we can see him there. And Todd Pletcher, you know, it's going to be a tight finish it's going to be a tight race to the finish between trainer Todd Pletcher and Chad Brown. And it's funny, as we look at the trainer standings right now, Chad Brown leads him just by 1 win, and he actually got that win in the race prior here. Todd Pletcher has 12 training titles here at Saratoga. Chad got his first last year. Pletcher has 21 horses entered between Sunday and Monday.
Oh, he's got horses coming out of the cupboard. I mean, it's amazing. And listen, I think it's cool. It's been a lot of fun following these guys because they're battling it out. And you know what? It's good. It's good competition.
3 letters, EGO.
Listen,
you gotta get it done.
We
hey,
all
listen,
got him.
We saw. You could say what you want. Chad had a horse in the last race yesterday that won by 15. They're both going to be doing this the next 3 days. So here's this deal: you either got to join them or try to beat him. You see Chad right there. He's got a live horse here with Venezuela. This horse reportedly been working well in the morning, and I think he's got a good shot at 6-1.
You know what's nice about these pictures? Chad Brown sitting with his parents, Todd Pletcher sitting with his dad. I think it's really nice. It shows it's a family affair, and it's nice to see these guys with their families.
Yeah, just to tell everybody, well, you know what? We'll be nice around everybody till the race goes off.
It's going to be a competition to the finish, and as you can see, Chad Brown, he has 6 entered in the second half of the card today. He's got 16 entered on Sunday and Monday, but I do think the crux of this is going to be in the spin-away, right, between Separation of Powers and Pure Silver.
Well, it is. It's a big battle. The other thing that's going on is the owner's battle. Karovich Stable, who has Separation of Power, and Michael Dubb, who has Princess Lady Ivanka.
Yeah.
And those are 2 big players as well. So you got the trainer battle, the owner battle. It's a lot of fun.
And Michael already won a race today, too.
They're tied now.
Yeah, they're tied, yeah.
And we'll have more on Mike Dubb later on in the show, but for now, we're getting closer and closer to post time, and the money is still strong on the 9 at 6-5.
And it also makes you feel that the first-time starters, the 2 biblical for Todd Pletcher, the 7 Venezuela for Chad Brown, if they were more live, it would be hard for the 9 to be this big a favorite.
I'm having, yeah, you know what? I think I'm having one of those feelings where the public and the people know that the 6 and the 9 are going to get out of the gate. They're a little bit worried about the other first-time starters in here.
All right, well, the horses will be getting into the starting gate right now as we load things up. And we'll head up to track announcer Larry Colmus with the load and call. You're watching Saratoga Live.
Here comes Night Strings up to the starting gate as the assistant starters get Hofberg to come forward to line. Lionite is in at odds of 6-5. Here comes Soulbeam, who will move into the starting gate next. Soulbeam and Paco Lopez just a little bit hesitant to go into the gate here. Now they go in. Next is Eclipsed Moon. And that will leave the last 2, Slot and Wake Me Up at Noon, to complete the line. Lionite now at 3-2, going up a little bit on the board as Wake Me Up at Noon comes up to complete the line here. Wake Me Up at Noon coming forward. And going in. They're all in line. They're off. Lionite had a very good start. Night Strings out with early speed. Wake Me Up at Noon on the outside. Prominent early as well. And then it's Bourbon Resolution, followed by Slot on the inside as they race up the backstretch. Break of another 2.5 to Soulbeam. Venezuela's next by another 2.5 lengths. And then it's Hofberg on the outside of Biblical. Eclipsed Moon is last. So they run up the backstretch. Bourbon Resolution grabs the lead from Lionite. On the inside is Slot in third. 22.9 was the first quarter mile. On the far outside, Wake Me Up at Noon follows in fourth, racing to the half-mile pole. Night Strings in between horses, fifth by 3. Venezuela is next, and then Biblical and Hofberg on the outside, followed by Soulbeam and Eclipsed Moon at the back of the pack. Around the far turn, Bourbon Resolution, the leader, a half a length. The half was 46.29 seconds. Lionite is running in second. Slot is third at the rail, just 2 lengths off the lead as they round the turn. Night Strings follows in fourth. Venezuela will ride the rail while Hofburg comes wide and they're into the stretch. Lionite runs for the lead as Slot begins to gain ground on the inside of Bourbon Resolution. Lionite, Bourbon Resolution fighting on. Slot coming up the rail. Bourbon Resolution, Lionite and Slot. Bourbon Resolution, the leader, coming into the final 16th. Slot on the inside is next. Lionite is third. Bourbon Resolution and Luis Saez to score over Slot and Lionite. Hofburg was fourth in a final time of 1 minute 23.51 seconds.
And it's Bourbon Resolution taking the field gate to wire here for trainer Ian Wilkes. And Luis Saez in the saddle, proving that experience, well, it pays off.
No, it's 1, 2, 3. I mean, the public had it dead right. This horse took money late, and we were talking about it right before the race, Andy. Who was going to break on top? The 6, the 9, the 5. The 3 horses that have run, and they ran 1, 2, 3.
And it's interesting, if you watch the early stages of the race, if we can show the early part, Luis Saez made a very good move. He actually wasn't riding that aggressively. He broke so sharply, but the 9 seemed to be going. I think that Saez realized, we're not going very fast. I'm not going to let the 9 clear me. And he eased the 6 in front, and that's where he won the race.
I thought the race was big. You know what, Gabby? He put away the 9, then he saw the 5 on the inside. He put that horse away. And we both made the point, Ian Wilkes, you cannot give up on his horses. If they win first time out, they win by accident. They're going to get better with racing.
Exactly. We were mentioning that this horse ran incredibly well first time out, and he just took that experience to keep building his form, and speed pays off in these 7/8 races as well.
Absolutely. And it's interesting with Slot, we were talking about it. He got a great trip in here, but forgetting about that, he didn't have that much speed early. He needed to learn from that first start, but he got right into the game today.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, like I said, I just think he's a grinder. I think he wants to go 2 turns. I think he's going to be tough when he goes around 2 turns, but take nothing away from Bourbon Resolution, was by far the best today.
All right, well, it stands unofficial right now for race 6, but we've got the 6 Bourbon Resolution atop over the 5 Slot, 9 Lionite at 3-2, and the 3 Hofburg to round out the Superfecta. We're taking a look at some entrants for the next race. Both halves of the entry for the Michael Dubb runners, the one Still Crazy, and the other half of the entry, the 1A Bitumen. We'll get to that momentarily. Talk a little bit about the war story, and a very incredible story we'll get to later on today. The war vets on track, and one of the owners in the Woodward did something nice for these war vets. We'll talk about that later on. Here's a tweet from Luch Racing Stables, of course, Ron Palucci. If you're a vet of any war and have never been to the spa or a big race, inbox me, and I'm gonna send 3 couples to Woodward this weekend, all expenses paid. So a great story. We'll have more on that later on. And here's a look at Bricks and Mortar, the sturdy Bricks and Mortar. He's undefeated in 4 starts, capturing the Hall of Fame. And his last race, can he keep the momentum later on today? We will find out.
Summer of Dreams 4 is back at Foxwoods, and we've got guaranteed millions in cash and prizes up for grabs. Sign up free for Foxwoods Rewards and earn points playing our World Series of Poker and the Big Dream Slot Tournament with Mario Lopez. Also, try our new skill-based slots. Then, use your points for summer wonders like Lobster Madness, golf at the Lake of Isles, and shop the region's only indoor Tanger outlets. Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all. Find your wonder now at foxwoods.com.
You're watching Saratoga Live, and once again, a beautiful day here at Saratoga. And, well, race 6 is in the books. We saw the 6th Bourbon Resolution get the victory for trainer Ian Wilkes for turning 1060.
Yeah, congratulations to them, Luis Saez. Bourbon Lane Stable. They're a stable that are spread all around, and yes, they got bourbon in all their names. It's a colt by New Year's Day. The Vindication mare, two pretty good 2-year-olds. New Year's Day and Vindication gets the job done.
6-5-4, the official order there for the 6th race. 6-5-9, excuse me, the official order, and that race did kick off that middle pick 4 as we head to the winner's circle with Maggie, who's standing by with the winning connections.
Here with the managing partner of Bourbon Lane Stables, Michael McMahon. And Mike, a horse that you picked out, selected at the Fasig-Tittman July sale, a son of New Year's Day. We haven't seen many of them. What led you to purchase this guy?
Jamie and I, Jamie Hill, my partner, we work together and we work the sales. We look for really good physicals. And this guy was our top pick in Fasig July last year, and he was the top pick for Mark Roberts at Hiddenbrook, leaving Hiddenbrook. And Ian Wilkes has been saying that this is going to happen for, you know, a while. So we were very confident. We love the horse.
And not only was he the physical, but he was also very classy acting, and he handled himself beautifully. He did it with the utmost comfort today.
Yeah, he's always been a highly thought of horse as far as intelligence. I mean, picks up things and learns things right away. And we really thought he'd win opening at Churchill. We thought he'd debut win. And then Ian says that he kind of got a little overconfident for his second race, but we went back to basics and got it done today.
Well, he's beautifully named. I'm sure that came easily with Bourbon Resolution.
Yeah, exactly. New Year's. I've had a couple of Bourbon Resolutions myself, so you know it's good to it's good to bring that up. Yeah, we're happy with New Year's Day. I love it.
All right, Mike. Well, congratulations here.
Thank you, Maggie.
All right, guys. Bourbon Resolution sounds pretty good to me. Looks pretty good on the track.
Well, he's going to have to forget about that Bourbon Resolution and maybe celebrate with some bourbon tonight,
right?
right?
You think so, right?
I know I plan to.
Yeah, right? You got a nice little $120. You might buy me some bourbon shots tonight.
Be happy to.
I think he deserves it for sure. Well, the New York Racing Association is the industry leader in providing Spanish language content. Luis Grandison provides both race calls and pre-race analysis every day, and you can check it out on the Naira Now app, which brings you content in HD. We'll take a look at last year's Woodward.
Pasando por fuera de vía hacia el comando, Froster ha dominado el evento estelar. Segundo por la parte de adentro está avanzando el ejemplar Mutayi. Froster, una cabeza. Mutayi viene avanzando por el medio, llegando a la meta. El final es muy cerrado. Este final en la 10ª carrera del programa, el evento
Shaman Ghost taking last year's Woodward for Jimmy Jerkins and Stronach Stables. And wanted to remind everybody you can catch, if you can't catch Saratoga Racing Live, you can always catch replays as well as live streaming, expert analysis videos, and workouts on demand, all in HD on the Naira Now app. It's available for download on all of those platforms, and it's a free download as well. More details at naira.com. Here's a look at the upcoming race, and well, is it surprising that gift box is opening up at 7-2?
It's surprising. It'll be more surprised if he ends up at 7-2,
No
but it is
shot.
amazing. I personally think this horse is going to be better around one turn. I think 7 furlongs is going to hit him right between the eyes.
How about this? I think he's a layup. I literally think he's a layup in this race, and I'll tell you why. You look at this field, Warriors Club doesn't really want to go this far. He seems like he gives it up late. Still crazy. He's not going to get that easy of a lead. Alex the Terror, the 2, has got speed. There's a horse that's got speed. This horse has been chasing Arrogate and Stick Stately Dude, which would be 1-40 in this race.
It's got to be a questionable sign for sure, but we'll get to gift box a little bit more later on. One owner who sends out 2 horses in here, both the 1 and 1A, is that owner, Michael Dubb. He's been a mainstay in New York racing for over a decade. He's had 12 leading owner titles at Saratoga, and he's going for his 4th consecutive one. And right now, it's a tie game for leading owner, but we still have a couple more left to go. Here's a closer look at Michael Dubb.
It's close. A dandelion.
No, it's a daffodil.
No, it's a dandelion. And dandelions grow in the grass. It's considered a weed. Okay, guys, have a great day. It's a dandelion. people ask me, you know, what's been your greatest moment in horse racing, and what's your greatest win? And I don't hesitate, the Belmont Child Care Association is the greatest thing I've been involved in. And it's not me, it's we. I mean, you know, this is a team effort.
Jerry said, you know, the kids at the track, of the people who work there, they're sleeping in cars, they're left unattended, there's nobody to care for them. It would be a great idea to build a daycare center. You know, Jerry, I'm a builder. I've always wanted to do something for kids. I'll do it. And I always thought I would build a daycare center and ride off into the sunset. But here I am, addicted to horses and addicted to the daycare center.
You know, picture going into school and you have a problem with, you know, understanding what the teacher says. So we eliminate that, and now you're going into school and you're actually ahead of what the teacher is teaching. Think of the confidence it instills. So we put the children in such a great position to excel, and they do. And it's great. And the parents have complete peace of mind. Not only are the kids being cared for, but they're given such a strong foundation and such great love and affection. And, you know, when they come out of here, they're really ready for preschool, and they get into preschool and they excel. You know, it's like having a strong foundation on your house.
You know, being in the residential development business, I would feel remiss if I didn't use my talents for the benefit of the track. So over a 5-year period, we've refurbished every dormitory on the Oklahoma side. So now the workers up there have a decent place to sleep. We've completed construction of our first brand new dormitory in many decades here at Belmont, and it is a prototype for more to come. My part-time job, which is supposed to be my full-time job, is building residential developments and some retail developments and around the metropolitan area. I built over 7,000 homes. One that I just completed close to Belmont is called Meadowbrook Point. It's the site of former Roosevelt Raceway. And so I have a passion for it because homes make a big impact on people's lives. I've also built a tremendous amount of affordable housing for first-time home buyers. But I'm blessed. It's what I love to do, and it keeps me outside. It keeps mud on my boots, so nobody knows whether I've been to the track or been to a job site. You know, I have a bit of an unbridled love affair with the people of the backstretch because I see such good people working so hard behind the scenes. You know, they don't get the glory, I get the glory. I prayed the horse in. But yet I know this doesn't happen without a whole chain of people. One of my trainers, Rudy Rodriguez, he came here first generation from another country, did all the manual labor, did all the hard work, and he worked so his kids could go to college. And, you know, you watch that and you see the assimilation. This is what it's all about. You want people to succeed. We root for everybody. And they don't necessarily go away at pre-K. They come back for after-school programs. They come back and do volunteer work. They come back and help out. So the pleasure of watching these children, you know, grow up and be successful and be good people is just, you know, enormous, because we know that it all begins with the foundation, and that's what we do. It's the greatest gift. I mean, if you said to me, win the Kentucky Derby or this, I would choose this. So that's how I feel about it. Now, I'd like to do both, but that's a different story.
There's a look in the paddock at Michael Dubb. And, well, guys, he's been involved in so many different facets in the industry, and he does it all with passion. And
one of the great things about being around the racetrack is getting to know the people at the racetrack. And nobody has been a bigger pleasure for me to get to know than Mike Dubb.
Yeah, that is true, too. And what he brings to the New York Stallions, too, here as well. I mean, he buys a lot of New York breds. He's great for the game. And the Anna House is just, it's plush. It's great stuff.
All right. All right, well, we've got a really exciting race coming up. That's a look at Gift Box. Last time he was here at Saratoga, he was going against Arrogate in the Travers. We'll talk about him more next.
Undefeated in sprint competition, Eclipse champion Run Happy captured 3 Grade 1 victories and set blistering speed records at both Keeneland and Saratoga. In the Breeders' Cup Sprint, he dominated the world's fastest runners, going 6 furlongs in a record-breaking 108 and change. The only horse nominated for 3 Eclipse Awards, Run Happy was crowned champion male sprinter, all the while racing 100% drug-free. Champion, millionaire, record breaker, Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new Naira Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish. From a variety of camera angles, race replays, talking horses, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. Naira Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and more coming soon. Download Naira Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
Welcome back to Saratoga Live. As you see the crowd starting to gather in the paddock for race 7, as we'll get to momentarily. But we still have a lot of action left here at Saratoga. But if that doesn't keep you happy, keep playing with Naira bets after the Saratoga card ends with a 250,000 point all split on race 5 at Del Mar. Just bet a $10 base exacta, in race 5 at Del Mar, and win or lose split $250,000 points. It's an easy way to get your Del Mar betting off to a good start. Well, we're taking a look at the field here, and the 6 gift box is your current 5-2 favorite. He's coming in off of a layoff, and he's also turning back in distance. And we'll head out to Maggie in the paddock. Maggie, could this be another Chad Brown turn back success story?
Gabby, I wish I was a little more optimistic. I like this horse, and I respect him, and I like the fact that he's brought in here fresh and fairly energetic. He's actually being accompanied by the pony right now because he is on the fresh and kind of keen and bouncing around. So that's the good thing about him coming back off of a layoff and turning back. But as a physical, well, he certainly looks like a horse who, A, is more well-suited to going longer, as he has been throughout his career, and B, is that stuffier type of individual. Now he's acting up a bit. I'd like to see him not really doing what he's doing right now, to be quite honest, as maybe just the chain over his nose or under his lip might be bothering him. Obviously, I'll keep you guys abreast as to how he's behaving throughout his pre-race, but in regards to the layoff, I almost feel as though it's a bit of a stepping stone because he is that bigger, stuffier type where, let's face it, last year coming off a layoff, he ran well, but still benefited from getting that start. Moving on to number 9 is Singing Bullit. Now, this is the first time he'll try older company. He is a 3-year-old amongst the older horses here, but physically, you would not know it. This is a big, strong, good-looking son of Hard Spun. Honestly, looks a lot like Daddy and Mommy combined, because Life at 10, well, she was a big, strong filly/mare. I like this horse facing older company. Yes, he'll have to improve, but boy, here in the paddock, he looks as though he's up to the task. Gabby?
Thanks very much, Maggie. That's taking a look at the plain one in here. Still crazy. And this kind of brings up a point here, Andy. How can you predict maybe the pace scenario to unfold in here, and do you think he's one of them?
Well, he's speed, but he's going to have to deal in all likelihood with the long shot on the outside, maybe. He was very fast. Still Crazy's last race was extremely good. He was in an all-out chase behind El Deal, who we saw win our Vanderbilt, who might be as fast a horse as there is in the country, especially early. And he chased him most of the way 2 to 3 wide on a track that was heavily tilted towards the inside. So, Paul, if he found a way to clear, he could win.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you know what? If I'm with Manuel Franco, I'm not concerned about the 10. Here's the thing about Maybe. Watching those quarter horse races at Los Alamitos, he's going to be in front. Now, how long? I don't know how long. I'm talking about the 10 here. But this is the kind of horse, when you're showing speed in quarter horse races, it's a different ballgame. But still Crazy might be by him by the 4 furlong
But
pole.
he's never won a race rating in his career.
He
and
lost
that
at
concerns
1
me.
to 20.
No, I
at
mean Still Crazy.
Oh,
Still
Crazy?
Crazy has never won a race rating. That
But I think this
concerns
horse
me.
won't bother him that much.
If they're moving up front, I'm going to be very surprised if this horse loses.
Do you think that pace kind of comes back to him, though? I mean, Gift Box, yes, he's turning back in distance, and he always has looked like a horse that wants a turn back, but he kind of gets a little bit pace dependent.
Well, Chad Brown entered this horse at 6 furlongs. It rained, and they scratched. I'm not sure that's the reason. So clearly Chad Brown wants to get him in a sprint. Now, is it a prep? It could be, but I'm not so sure. I think this horse is a sprinter.
I'm with you. I think they're turning this horse back for a campaign as a sprinter. You look at his other races, he's a length behind Connect. He actually was one of the first horses that actually, well, one of the only horses in last year's Travers that made up ground. I thought he was game as can be in this effort against Connect. Connect is a real horse here. I mean,
he won the Cigar Mile.
I mean,
the Pennsylvania Derby.
I mean, he did not lose ground to this horse. He's fighting the whole way. This race wins this race by many.
I think they stretched him out, Gabby, because I feel like they wanted to run in the important races, the Travers and those races, but ultimately this is maybe the right distance.
So we're talking about a horse who's been in Grade 3, Grade 1 company, finished second in the Curlin last year. Why is he only 2-1?
I don't know. That's a great question. Great question.
We'll get to the post parade here, and we'll start with the 1, Still Crazy, the first half of the entry right now at 4-1.
If Manny Franco can find a way to clear the lead and not go too fast, he could be gone.
One of my all-time favorites, as Andy's well aware of, Bitumen, the other half of the entry, now trained by Jason Service.
Can't bet him because he'd be 20-1 on his own. Good stats. Trainer switched to Jason Service. You never know.
And there's a look at the 2, Alex the Terror, and 13-1 right now, a long shot.
This horse has been hot at the claimbacks. Claimed 2 of the last 4 tries, but look at the record at Saratoga. A win in 2 seconds from 3 starts.
Warriors Club right now at 5-1, a recent second behind Neolithic, and a nice Bullet workout since.
And he and Always Suspect both ran well in that race. This could be tougher.
And the 4, Always a Suspect for trainer Kieran McLaughlin, taking his second start off of the layoff.
Ran his career best race last time off the pace here at Saratoga. So that's a good sign. You're getting right on that morning line.
Ralph Nick sends out the 5, Royal Squeeze. Joe Bravo in the saddle. This horse could maybe sit the trip.
Both Paul and I think this is a live long shot in here. He has back races that make him a player.
And there's a look at your lukewarm favorite at 2-1, Gift Box, coming back to Saratoga off of a November layoff.
The 1 to beat and the 1 to hold off late. Look for him late. He was just behind Neolithic last time out in the Discovery. You're going to see Neolithic try to battle Gunrunner a little later on in the Woodward.
There's the Silks of West Point Thoroughbreds, the number 8, Sound the Horns, conditioned by Graham Motion.
You know, this horse was dropped in class to get a little, maybe, confidence. Was not bad, and the pace sets up for him.
Dale Roman sends out the 9, Singing Bullet, who's exiting the Grade 2 Amsterdam.
Drops out of stakes company, and he has upside.
Talking about pace makes the race, well, this horse will be forwardly placed. The 10 may be.
This horse competed in quarter horse races at Los Alamitos. Fast, fast, fast. I don't know how long he's going to stick around, though.
Yeah, we'll find out shortly. He's going to have to clear from the outside, but right there's a look at your current favorite gift box. We'll see if coming back to Saratoga will prove to be successful right after this.
Visit the new Rivers Casino and Resort, the Capital Region's only destination for live table game action and where the hottest new slots are paying out millions. Sign up for Rush Rewards and play up to $500 in slots on us. Plus, we'll double any casino offer and match your tier. Rivers Casino and Resort.
And they're off. Naira Bet's Pick 5 is now available exclusively online at NairaBets.com. Bet the Naira Bet's Pick 5 every race day with a 15% takeout on the last 5 races on the card from the country's best racing at Belmont and Saratoga. Find it nationwide on NairaBets.com right in the Bet Type drop-down menu or at any Naira track or New York OTB location. Naira Bet's Pick 5, racing's best bet.
Why not the 5? Why the Bellucci?
Yes.
You're watching Saratoga Live here on Woodward Day. It's an action-packed day, and the crowd, well, it's big. And it's a great day on tap. We'll take a look right now at the 6th gift box for trainer Chad Brown. He's coming off of a November layoff, and he's returning to the spa, Andy, a place where last seen he was running against Arrogate in the Travers.
No, and obviously nobody was close to Arrogate. He actually didn't run that badly, beaten just 18 3/4 lengths, finishing 4th. It'll be interesting to see if he's a sprinter or he's using this as a stepping stone to a longer race.
So we could say this. Gift box was 3 lengths behind Gunrunner. I mean, if you want to read the racing form, that's what it says. So you're getting 2 to 1, like, and Gabby makes a great point. I don't understand. I thought this horse going in this race was going to be even money.
I'm emptying my account out. You got me convinced. I'm in.
Well, it is kind of questionable that he is at 2 to 1, but there's a look at the 10 Maybe, who figures to be the speed from the outside, but he's really going to have to kind of face the pressure of the 1 Still Crazy towards his inside.
No, but I like what his owner did, and I'm going to root for him anyway, even though I wouldn't bet him.
All right, well, for more on the 10 Maybe, Maggie's standing by.
Well, Gabby, you talked about Ron Palucci inviting any war veterans to Saratoga for the first time with War Story running today. And we're joined by Perry Norsworthy from Louisville, who is a 25-year Army veteran. And I got to say, what do you think of the spa?
It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. It's like a Norman Rockwell painting the town, and it's awesome. It's a bucket list thing for both my wife and I, and to be able to come up here and do this has been fantastic. It's unbelievable. So, and you know, Mr. Palucci has just been so gracious and can't say enough. It's like Disney World for a big kid, you know. So
it really is, especially a guy I'm sure well versed in racing as you are, and joined by your wife Sue here. And Perry, you know, looking at that tweet, when you saw it, what did you do? Did you immediately just send him an email?
Well, I really couldn't believe it, that somebody would do this. You know, I thought how generous it was, and I was like, holy mackerel, you know, I fit all the criteria, you know, for this. And I said, what, how fun it would be. And we just had, it was so crazy that our schedule fit in and everything worked. So, yeah, I was just blown away and didn't expect to be picked or anything, but to be here is wonderful.
Well, We always pick you. Thank you so much for your service, and we're so happy that you and Tom are here and enjoying the spa. Thank you so much for coming.
And yeah, and I have to say the great part about this is the opportunity to bring my wife, because when you serve, they're the ones that take care of the home and all that. So to be able to bring her is fantastic. So.
Sue, thank you as well. Guys, enjoy your stay here, and thank you so much. Cavi.
Wow, what an incredible story there. It just kind of it gives you chills. You can't not think of that story and not get emotional a little bit.
And Ron's a terrific guy. I think he's kind of a bombastic guy, and he's funny on Twitter. But if you know him, and you know him better than me, Paul, he seems like just a wonderful guy.
Some of the guys that get the bad reads or the bad stories you hear about, they're the most generous in the world. And that guy, that was awesome right there. He looked like he was ready to cry. He was so happy with tears of joy. That's good stuff, man. That's why the racetrack and sporting events bring out the best in people.
I agree.
He's flew in from Louisville, so good to see him enjoying
awesome,
Saratoga on a beautiful day. There's a look at the 5 Royal Squeeze for trainer Ralph Nix, and he's coming out of tough races. The Polynesian last time out behind Divining Rod. Prior to that, Imperial Hint. What do you make of this one?
He's being completely ignored on the board, and he's got back races that can win this, Paul.
I'm with you. Here's the other part. He can rate, Gabby, and I think you need to rate in here. I think his best races are rating. His one race after the Jaipur, I know he was 93-1. He was on the turf. But at Belmont, he sat and rated. Does he have to improve? Of course. But at 18-1, I think it's a horse you can throw in your exotics.
And he's kind of questionable because he was forwardly placed in those fractions last time out, but hopefully he can settle from off of it. This is going to be an interesting race. Not only do we have Gift Box returning back to Saratoga. Last time he was seen here at Saratoga, he was going against Arrogate in the Grade 1 Traverse. We'll see what to make of him. And Michael Dubb sends out 2 as well in that race for the owner's title. We'll go up to Larry Colmus for the load and call. You're watching Saratoga Live.
Maybe going in, and they're all in line. They're off. Maybe on the far outside, flashing his early speed, still crazy, rushing through on the inside, and these two are going full tilt early. They're going to open up to lead by 3 lengths on the competition. And then it's Alex the Terror who's out running in third. Warriors Club is fourth by another 2.5. Then Singing Bullet, Royal Squeeze, always a suspect on the inside. Gift Box is 10 lengths behind, but they're moving along up front. Sound the Horns is next, and at the back of the pack, Bitumen 21.42 was a sharp opening quarter mile. Maybe on the outside, still crazy along the rail, locked in a speed duel on the far turn. Alex the Terror's a length and a half off of them. Warriors Club follows in fourth as they make their way around the turn. Singing Bullets under a drive. Gift Box is a lot of ground to make up, 7 lengths to do it. And then Royal Squeeze and Always a Suspect. The half was 44.16. They're into the stretch. Maybe is given way. Still crazy is the leader. But here comes Warriors Club on the outside. Alex the Terror fighting on between them. Singing Bullet is there. Always a Suspect. Royal Squeeze. Gift Box on the far outside. Warriors Club is the leader. It is Warriors Club by the 16th pole in front. And Warriors Club and Joel Rosario will pull away to beat Always a Suspect. Alex the Terror was third, Singing Bullet fourth in 1 minute 15.89 seconds.
Warriors Club closing from off of the pace, a hot pace in front. Happy birthday to D. Wayne Lucas. What a performance.
What a performance is right, and what a great ride by Joel Rosario. Not to get mixed up. I think he couldn't get mixed up in those type of fractions in 21 and change, but he did a lot of the dirty work. He was wide most of the way, and nobody really showed up here from behind, especially Gift Box, who we both like, ran not to his liking. Give the credit to Warriors Club. This is a good race.
And I'll tell you something. This flatters Neolithic, who runs in today's Woodward, because Always a Suspect and Warriors Club, they ran 1-2 in this race, and they were right behind Neolithic. It flatters that race. Gift Box was spun wide, but he was dreadful.
He was. Always a Suspect, Gabby. The only one that really somewhat made up ground, and there you see D. Wayne Lucas. I'll tell you what. I want to look like him when he's that age. He still looks the same. Wow, always dressed to the part.
And on a weekend like this, it's always great to see Wayne Lucas get into the winner's circle here at Saratoga. And this horse has been good. He was just beaten by a better horse last time out.
Well, he's improved a lot for Wayne. Wayne told me earlier in the meet, watch for my horses late. Well, he got one here.
He was 26-1 last time out. Always a suspect was what? 18-1 because Neolithic was, you know, bet off the board. But like Andy said, they just came right back. Neolithic might give Gunrunner more than he can handle maybe today.
He's one of the greats of all time there, talking to one of his longtime assistants, waiting for Warriors Club to come back to the winner's circle. And yeah, the way that this horse has just progressed, a second place finish behind Neolithic last time out, a Bullit workout leading into this race, looks like a horse that's moving in the right direction. We're going to step aside momentarily. When we come back, we'll come back with more on Winner's Circle and prices right after this. That's Wayne Lucas.
How do I see New York bred performance? Like this.
Disco.
Here's New York sire Disco Partner setting a new world record in the Jaipur.
Holy mackerel.
And they perform like multiple Grade 1 winner Mind Your Biscuits.
And he's pouring it on late.
Shown here, winning the Belmont Sprint Championship. And New York breds perform in the sales ring, where this filly sold for $750,000. Look for your registered New York performer at upcoming auctions.
The world's #1 sire of 2-year-olds, Warfront, continues to command top prices with yearlings this year, bringing up to $1.9 million. On the track, Warfront has sired recent Grade 1 winner Avenge, Grade 1 victors Brave Anna, and graded stakes winning juveniles in France, England, and Ireland, Roly Poly, War Decree, and Intelligence Cross. A leading sire on all fronts, from Paris, Kentucky to Paris, France. Claiborne Farms, Warfront.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use Naira Bets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. Naira Bets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NairaBets.com.
In the set, Wrap and Go out in the middle of the track, Native Dancer and Tahitian King. That's Muharrem and Platan. From the 8th pole, it's Native Dancer getting the lead. Wrap and Go second, and Tahitian King is third. Now at the 16th pole, it's Native Dancer whipping and driving, and the jock is looking back, going away by 3 or 4 lengths. And as they go over the finish line, it's Native Dancer the winner by 3 lengths. That was Wrap and Go.
Well, that was Fred Caposello with the call of the Grand Union Hotel. 65 years ago, Native Dancer would go down in history after winning 4 races in a row in one meet at Saratoga. That's his statue. He's immortalized by that statue, and you can find it at the end of Union Ave. And today, well, Voodoo Song is going to try to test that record. He's going for his 4th consecutive victory here in the Grade 3 Saranac later on today. So lots of action, still more to come as we head down to the winner's circle. Maggie standing by.
I'm here with the birthday boy. That is Mr. D. Wayne Lucas, and what a day to celebrate your birthday with Warriors Club. Wayne, he was a horse that just narrowly got beat by one of the Woodward contenders today. You said you had him in the wrong race.
Well, I thought the public may have overlooked him a little bit because, you know, obviously that was 7/8. This is 6.5, but at the 6.5, he was drawing away today, and so we're pleased with him. We made 400 people happy.
Yes, of the Churchill Downs Racing Club, that's for sure. And a horse that seems to really relish it here at the spot, too.
Yeah, he's getting better. You know, I told the photographer, I said, you just hit the jackpot. They buy one for grandmother, one for their relatives, one for everybody in the family. I said, you're going to sell about 600 photos.
And also, I know you're looking forward to Monday, as you will send out a horse in the Hopeful, looking for your 8th win in that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's a very contentious race. I was looking at the handicap numbers, not that they're, you know, definitive in a lot of ways, but it's a very, very even race. And but we got a very, very solid colt that does everything right. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Wayne, it's a pleasure to catch up with you on your birthday, no less. Congratulations here.
Let's do it again next year.
Or Monday.
Yeah, or Monday will be fine.
All right, Gabby, all smiles here.
Monday first, next year after that. Could this be a new angle? I know Bill Mott always wins on his birthday.
You took the words right out of my mouth. When his birthday boys, like Bill Mott won with on his birthday, Good Samaritan.
Good Samaritan.
I mean, and D. Wayne Lucas, I mean, what a legend. Going for his 8th hopeful on Monday and still sharp as attack. And there's one of his proteges, Mr. Dallas Stewart. With his good mare that beat Songbird. But here's the prices for race number 7. Warriors Club, Warriors Reward colt at the City Dancer mare, 38th Street. John O'Mara, the Kentucky bred, and Mr. Lucas. And yes, made 401 people happy. Churchill Downs Racing Club, the owners here.
Well, congratulations to those connections as we turn the page and we take a look at the 8th race on the card. And I thought, guys, this was a very, very contentious field. But right now, the North American debuter for Chad Brown is opening up as your favorite, Thais, the number 6.
Chad Brown has a tremendous record, especially in Saratoga with his European shippers. And Chad's got 2 dangerous horses in here. Created a Dream off the layoff, a stakes winner. And obviously, Brow's a horse we've seen in this show before. The 4, 5, and 6 figured to take the bulk of the play, and they are.
Yeah, you make a good point. Create a Dream is not a slouch to 4 in here. And I thought this filly would get play. You know, Chad just does such a great job at a lot of these horses. And look who is on the favorite, Irad Ortiz, 4 wins behind his brother, Jose, who's going to be on the 2 in this race. So still going down the wire. You know, Irad's sort of closed that gap. At one time, Jose sort of broke away about 9 wins.
Every time you look up, it looks like another Jose or another Ortiz brother is back in the winner's circle. And Jose and Irad Ortiz are individually 2 of the best riders in the country. As we saw this meet alone, winning with Lady Eli, Irad Ortiz in the Grade 1 Diana. And then we also saw Jose Ortiz win on Elate in the Grade 1 Alabama. So separately, they're fantastic. Together, they're almost impossible to beat. We'll take a look here at Jose, obviously winning with Elate in the Grade 1 Alabama. And they have just had a phenomenal meet. But we'll take a closer look at this dynamic duo in another edition of I Am.
I am Irad Ortiz. Jose Ortiz. We are professional jockeys. My brother and I always want to be a jockey, and we both started when I was 16. We started in the jockey school.
And Irad Ortiz Jr. let Summer Revolution roll, and Summer Revolution is pouring it on.
My favorite part of being a jockey is winning.
Sweetgrass and Jose Ortiz coming home strong and coming home a 6-length winner.
The best part of being a jockey is the be around horses. I mean, that's my dream, and you know, I love the sport.
When we were kids, we used to watch the Kentucky Derby all the time.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby.
My brother and I, we are both happy because we are the third pair of brothers that ride the Kentucky Derby, and we are very, very proud of that. We always like to watch replays and try to get better every day and correct some mistakes that we did in the days.
My brother and I enjoy being a jockey, but we also love play PlayStation at night.
The highlight of my career so far been win the Belmont Stakes.
And Creator, these two come down to the line together. And Iran Ortiz raised his whip in victory.
And the highlight of my career was winning this year's belt.
And Jose Ortiz in the Belmont Stakes. His brother won it last year. He did it today. Jose Ortiz.
So who's the better jockey?
Both Jose and Irad Ortiz, both hardworking and positive people, both in their races, and obviously themselves, their personalities, absolutely tremendous season that they have had as well. Talking about the Naira Bets Late Pick 5, well, that starts in the next race. And remember, the only way you can play it outside of New York and the only way you can win the minimum $300,000 single ticket payout is if you play it on NairaBets.com. And Paulie, I know you took a look at the Late Pick 5.
Yeah, I thought this was a very good sequence, and today's the day you want to play, right? Because there's two horses in this sequence you have to try to beat, right? I'm not going to try to beat either of them. But if you beat one of them, you get paid. You beat both of them, you're really going to get paid. So let's just move on to race number 10. Separation of powers in the spinaway. Dynamite. You could not have seen a 2-year-old filly run any better than she did. Now, is she running against two other good ones? Yes. Lady Ivanka was impressive. Pure Silver is 3 for 3. Most of the time, you will not want to take a horse that is 1 for 1 against a horse that's won 3 races. But this Daughter of Candy ride was in absolutely cruise control. And you saw the little Packers there on Jose Ortiz. He's going to be aboard, your leading rider. So to me, that's the one you got to single. Then when you get to the 11th race, listen, Gunrunner's just not made mistakes. If you want to take a shot, I think Neolithic is the other horse in there, the 1, or Rally Clyde, the 3. But again, this horse is projecting and getting better and better and better. And right now, this could be the best horse in North America. And he's got to prove it again today, like I said, with Neolithic and Rally Clyde. But I think you need to center your ticket around those two horses.
And, well, it's going to be a great sequence today. We've got $126,000 and growing in the pool already. And I don't know, guys. This card is just going to get better and better as we keep going.
Oh, God, there's so much great racing to come. And even though those are the 2 grade 1s, and looking forward to them immensely.
Yeah.
And this Woodward is a much tougher test for Gunrunner than the Whitney was. I'm looking for the Saranac as well.
Well, the Saranac is a giant race, right? It just seems like a good race because there's not a lot of pace in there. Voodoo Song going for the 4th win of the meet. But the other speed scratches out. If you look at the race beginning, you're like, okay, I still don't love Voodoo Song. But you got Yoshida. You have a horse from Woodbine. We don't even know what kind of horse that horse is, right? So, and I think Rocketry's a real horse. That's why I think it's a great race.
No, it's a terrific race. You know, I'll tell you something funny going on in this race here. The 6 horse is the big favorite in the double, but the 4 is an overwhelming favorite in the pick 3. It feels like one big bet may have skewed the pick 3 results because it's way below the parlay.
Yeah, you're right, 6-1.
So it's $140 for $1. It's $340 for $1 with a 6. Yet the double is 30 versus 42 the other way.
Taking a look at your current favorite at 2-1, that is the 6 Thais. North American debuter, well, we're unfamiliar with her. Maggie, what can you tell us?
Gabby, I'm glad you know how to say her name because that's not what I was going to call her. But Thais, as you said, well, she looks very much ready to go here. And while Andy was talking about maybe 2 horses working out to be close in favoritism towards post time, the thing is they're both trained by Chad Brown. So I prefer Thais in here just because she looks like the one who has a little more energy. She just seems like a kind of horse who is more ready to fire today at least. And 2, I like the conditions that she's going to run at going this flat mile. Now, number 4 is Create a Dream. Her 2 races in England were at sprint distances. Her 2 races here, well, they've come at a mile and a mile and 16th. I'm okay with the mile, but coming back off this layoff, you know, she looks pretty fit to me. And she's a shorter, stouter filly. She is built more like a sprinter. So, like I said, I'm just not as enthralled with her as I am as much as Thais. Now, moving on to a horse that will be a bit of a price. That's number 3, Malibu Stacy. Malibu Stacy is only getting on the turf for the second time in her career. She is a full sister to Coasted, who, while her form has tailed off this year, she was very good last year as a 2-year-old, and I like Malibu Stacy trying the turf here. In her only turf start, it was in the Christie Cat, where she acted up before the race in the gate. So I'm willing to forgive her for that. I like the fact she stretches out to Mal because she might be able to employ some speed here, and maybe she does get brave towards the front end. I'm willing to give this long shot a bit of a chance here, Gabby.
Thanks very much, Maggie. But that's a look at the favorite, the 6 Thais for trainer Chad Brown, making her North American debut. And, well, if he gets this one, it's going to be a tighter race for leading trainer title here at Saratoga. We'll see what happens right after this.
And they're off. Naira Bet's Pick 5 is now available exclusively online at NairaBets.com. Bet the Naira Bet's Pick 5 every race day with a 15% takeout on the last 5 races on the card from the country's best racing at Belmont and Saratoga. Find it nationwide on NairaBets.com right in the Bet Type drop-down menu or at any Naira track or New York OTB location. Naira Bet's Pick 5, racing's best bet.
How do I see New York bred performance? Like this. Here's New York sire Disco Partner setting a new world record in the Jaipur.
Holy mackerel!
And they perform like multiple Grade 1 winner Mind Your Biscuits.
And he's pouring it on late.
Shown here, winning the Belmont Sprint Championship. And New York breds perform in the sales ring, where this filly sold for $750,000. Look for your registered New York performer at upcoming auctions.
Back on Saratoga Live as we are 12 minutes out from the 8th race. We've got so much more action yet to come on another beautiful day here at Saratoga. You can see it is packed, crowded for an exciting day once again. And, well, we'll get back to the upcoming race in race 8, and Chad Brown sends out 2 horses. The other one, the 4, Create a Dream. Well, guys, she hasn't been seen since last October, but clearly one that showed talent even at a young age.
No, she beat another Chad Brown runner, getting the mile last time out and getting the job done. Took a lot of money. You just worry a little bit. Where has she been? She's not going on vacation for 10 months, Paul.
No, that's the thing. She won first time out. How about that for Wesley Ward at Ascot with Jose Valdivia aboard? And She lost to New Money Honey. It was a legit stumble in her North America debut, and then she won. And I thought she was nice. But when a horse wins like that, you really don't want her to go to the sidelines. But he's so good off these type of laps. You just dismiss at your own peril.
No, yeah, I think you have to use her at least protectively if you're betting doubles or any multi-race bets, and particularly the Naira Bet Slate Pick 5.
And if she was one that was precocious enough to win in her first start at 2, well, it's kind of a good omen there for her to be okay. We'll take a look at the 6 Thais right now, and she was, I think, acting up a bit in the paddock. Maggie, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Gabby, she was acting up. She was kind of kicking and, as we say, double barreling, kicking out with both of her hind legs. Mrs. Vivian Malloy of Edition Farm may have gotten clipped by her. The EMTs are taking a look at her, and they're with her right now. Doesn't seem to be anything too serious, but as I said, she's being attended right now, and I'll keep you guys updated on Thais and how she behaves. She's in the saddling stall with the Outrider pony in front of her right now.
Thank you very much, Maggie, for that report on Thais. So she's making her North American debut. Yeah. She's just probably not used to this. And as we were mentioning, it's a packed day here at Saratoga. There's a lot going on for this 3-year-old filly.
It does seem like the meet where horses that are acting up win anyway.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, she's ran at Chantilly in a grade 1, so she's probably running some front of big crowds. Maybe this paddock's confusing her. There's a lot been thrown at her, maybe.
Yeah, that race is interesting. That was Arc Day because they moved that to Chantilly, and that was the Arc Day. So there clearly was a big crowd there.
Taking a look at the 5 brows for trainer Shug McGahee. And this filly, well, she was narrowly defeated last time out. Do you guys think that she could be in the same spot on the lead today?
Oh, she's supposed to be. I think Shug is not a trainer that's going to alter something that worked. I mean, I know she didn't win, but they were moving in that race. That was earlier in the meet, and the turf wasn't as firm. She ran a sensational race to lose there, and I think they go to the front here, and she could wire them today, Paul.
Yeah, she got pegged. Look at the 2 on the complete outside Penn Jade. This is a bad beat because she put everybody away, and Peyton Jade was just sitting on a big race. I still can't believe she got there, the 2, but Browse ran a heck of her age.
I wish we had some video footage of Tom Amos crying on the desk when she got run down late, and I got to admit, and I liked her too. This was an absolutely brutal beat. She's a nice filly.
And she's another one who they go back out to the inner, and it's always useful to have speed and stay towards the inside on this particular course, guys.
Yeah, and I think they'll go back. You would assume they'll go back to what worked or almost worked last time. She did everything but win.
And talking about a horse that draws towards the inside, well, on the rail, the 2 Wild About Harry for Linda Rice. She's a 4-time winner. She knows how to win. What do you make of her, though, stretching out?
You know, she wanted a mile, but she beat much lesser. I think she's a better sprinter, but it's interesting. Linda entered her in a sprint that I believe got rained off, so we'll see. But I think she's still better, a little better going shorter.
I'll tell you what, Samuel Camacho took that horse back and was wide the whole way around at Suffolk. There was no intention of winning that race. They were pointing for this race. I think the 2 could be live here.
Well, we will see. As we mentioned, she has already had success here at Saratoga, and that was going the mile last August on the 28th. And she got a nice trip there, getting up in the nick of time, but she could be well posted towards the inside. But do you want to pay attention to the money right now and where it's going to the 6?
I always pay attention to the money here. The money is so smart up here. It's amazing. They knew that Linda Rice horse yesterday, and they're often very accurate. And, you know, I know that the people like to say, oh, the longer one won of the horse's trainers 2 entries. It's just not true.
And it's the other way around. Gabby, they told us last race with Gift Box.
Yep.
They did, and they didn't run a step.
It's a very good point. You can see right there, Sam the Bugler with the call to post. That'll be coming up in just a second. Well, we'll get to it right now as the number 1 Truth in Lies leads the field for owner Mike Dubb, sent out by Jason Service.
Comes off a perfect trip, easy win against much weaker. Would have to run better to beat these.
And wheels right back around as well as we are looking at the 2 Wild About Harry right now at 5-1. Draw on the inside for trainer Linda Rice.
One of the New York breds in here, I think, is going to love the stretch out back to 2 turns, and leading rider Jose Ortiz aboard.
That's the 3 Malibu Stacy, sent out by George Weaver, owned by Jim and Susan Hill. Doesn't have a lot of turf experience, though.
Does have turf pedigree. The 1 turf race, obviously not a good one. Maybe she can bounce back.
And the 4 Create a Dream for trainer Chad Brown, coming in off an October layoff last seen against Stakes Company.
I thought very impressive. Made an impressive move and took control. The worry's going to be the layoff today.
Browse could be the speed of the speed, sent out by Shug McGahee for the Phipps stable.
You got to think they're going to try to wire the field. She's a good one.
7's next, JC's Shooting Star, trained by David Donk, 3 for 28 on form.
She actually has some good turf races and is not the worst long shot to throw in somewhere underneath.
And there's the 8. Spanish Harlem, sent out by Danny Gargan, who's having a tremendous meet.
This horse has had 2 turf starts, one very good and the other one not as good. Needs the better one.
Here's another filly, the 9 Perfect Wife, and she's making her turf debut today. Could be fourthly placed.
This is another one trying the turf for the first time. There is some pedigree on the dam side.
And the 10 Big Smile, sent out by Rudy Rodriguez, Jose Lezcano in the irons.
It does say 0 for 5 on the turf. Now, the horse did cross the wire first, but got DQ'd, so maybe a long shot look to maybe hit the board.
We ran out the field with your favorite, the number 6 Thais, making her North American debut for trainer Chad Brown.
Great 3 place twice over in France, and obviously a major player getting bet at the windows.
And we go to the outside. Don't forget about this horse at 40 to 1, the number 12 Larnette, with CJ McMahon in the saddle.
I tell you what, if you are a sheet player or a number player, 40 to 1 is not that awful on this horse.
And well, as we mentioned, Chad Brown in that race for the leading trainer here at Saratoga. He sends out your current favorite in the number 6 Thais. He sends out 2 in here. We'll see how it all unfolds right after this.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new Naira Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish. From a variety of camera angles, race replays, talking horses, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. Naira Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and more coming soon. Download Naira Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
You're watching Saratoga Live, presented by Claiborne Farms, 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. And once again, we are just a couple minutes out, 2 minutes to post for the 8th race today. And, well, it's going to be a good one. We have trainer Chad Brown sending out 2 horses in a contentious field, guys.
No, it's an interesting race. And Chad does have I wouldn't say a hammerlock in the race, but he's got 2 serious runners. But I think Browse can absolutely win this race. I mean, we'll see if there are some other players in here. Linda's horse, the 2, is taking some money in here. How about Harry? Create a Dream, though. I just worry about this kind of layoff, Paul. She ran so well last year, but 10 months, where's she been?
Yeah, that's a worry. Chad's so good. The stat that blows me away, him and the 1 with Jason Servis, 27% when they've won the last start. He knows how to keep horses in form. Here's his other charge, the 6. And this filly, even though she's acting up in the paddock, she looks a lot better on the racetrack. Or here's the 4, excuse me, Create a Dream. The 6 looks a lot better on the racetrack. Listen, to each his own. I thought the 4 was giant last time, but again, you make a good point. Does that look like a horse off a 10-month layoff, though?
Chad has him ready to run.
Right?
Well, for more on this field, we head out to Maggie.
Joined in the boxes here by Anthony Bonomo of St. Elias Stable. And Anthony, you send out Create a Dream here today, coming back off of a layoff. Was Chad giving you any signs as to how she may run here today?
Yeah, well, I think she's gonna run well. She really looks beautiful off the layoff. And I'm standing in for Vinny. Vinny doesn't like to do a lot of these interviews, but she's been a pretty nice horse. She had a little time off, but she looks gorgeous on the track. I mean, really calm, and for such a long layoff to come back looking so strong, she looks really good.
She does. And you mentioned Vinny Viola, who you've been in partnership with. Talk a little bit about you guys coming together.
Well, we've been friends since I was 7 and he was 9. I don't want to say how old I am, but it's a real long time. And we've had a lot of luck together. We used to have trouble sitting in the box next to each other, and he's rooting for his horse and I'm rooting for mine. So we just decided about a year and a half ago, this is crazy. Well, let's just, put our stables together. And, we had some very good luck with Greenpoint Crusader, who won the Champagne with Dominic Schettino training him. And then naturally this year's been just, you can't even explain it. You really can't. It's just been an unbelievable year.
You had a nice one in the last yesterday with Follow the Signs, dominant winner. Let's hope it continues into this one.
Yeah, well, you put them out there and you let them run and you hope for the best, and they come back healthy. That's the most important thing.
Exactly. Well, best of luck here with Create a Dream, Anthony.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Gabby.
That was Anthony Bonomo, and what a year he's had. Obviously, one of the owners of Always Dreaming.
I wanted to ask that question. So, you buy stock in the Red Sox and the Yankees, right? You're owning horses with Chad and Todd, two best trainers, and they're sort of going at each other. But they've won races with both.
After you win the Kentucky Derby in a year, everything else is great.
Right?
I'd say so. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, we're taking a look at the field here. The 5 Brows is on your screens for trainer Shug McGahee. And this filly is quick, guys, and she comes out of a very good race last time out, and it's not a bad thing to be on the lead on the inner turf.
She's got a big pedigree, I have to imagining. Who was won over $1 million in the turf, and she ran to it last time. We'll see if she can get it done. She got run down by a Chad Brown horse. There were 2 in that race. She's got to deal with 2 Chad Browns here.
Yeah.
Well, they're loading in the gate here for the 8th race. Once again, we've got the Grade 3 Saranac coming up after this race, but for now, Chad Brown sends out 2 with the 4 Create a Dream and the 6 Thais. We'll see how it all unfolds as we send it up to Larry Comas for the loading call.
Spanish Harlem moving into the starting gate with Create a Dream, the next one to come forward. Here's Perfect Wife going in as well. They'll be followed by Browse. Smile Big. Waiting now for Thais and Lornette to complete the line. 3-2 on Thais, who's about to take her spot in the starting gate. She goes in, and here's Lornette, who steps up to the outside stall, and they're all in line. They're off. Spanish Harlem goes out to the front. Wild About Harry on the inside. Malibu Stacy is going up in between horses. Perfect Wife is there on the outside. And then comes Create a Dream, followed by Browse and Truth in the Lies on the outside. Saving all the ground there is the French filly into that turn. Thais, she's 7 lengths off the lead. And then it's Lornette, JC Shooting Star. The trailer is Smile Big. So they make their way onto the backstretch here, led by Malibu Stacy. 23.41 the quarter. Perfect Wife second on the outside. And then it's Spanish Harlem running along in third by another 2. Wild About Harry fourth up the backstretch. 5 from the front, just ahead of Browse. Create a Dream. Truth in the Lies to the outside. Thais is down at the rail. Hard held at this stage. 9 lengths off the lead. Lornette next to her. JC Shooting Star and the trailer Smile Big. 46.95 was the half mile for Malibu Stacy and Luis Saez, who head for the far turn in front. Perfect Wife is a length and 3/4 behind, running along second. Spanish Harlem follows in third. Wild About Harry is fourth. And then it's Browse on the outside of Create a Dream. Behind them, Thais, still 8 lengths to make up. And still in hand at this stage, then Truth in the Lies, and they're coming to the top of the stretch. Malibu Stacy, the leader by 2.5 lengths. Wild About Harry on the attack on the outside. Second, Thais trying to find her way through traffic there in between horses, and on the far outside it's Browse, but Malibu Stacy's got something left. Malibu Stacy by 4. Thais is taken second. Wild About Harry is third. Malibu Stacy by 3 on the wire to Thais. And then it was Wild About Harry, followed by Created Dream in 1 minute 33.98.
First.
Huge price there with the 3 Malibu Stacy going in the front end. Well, she never had experience going 2 turns on the turf, and that did not matter.
Let's give a lot of love to Maggie Wolfendale. She pointed this horse out, and she pointed out in the one turf race this horse had acted up before the race. Of course, I bet her that day, not today. But let's also credit George Weaver does a great job, and Luis Saez, who put her on the lead. I don't know what the plans were with Browse, but they eliminate any chance she had. The 6 was a little unlucky here.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. She couldn't going to get through late, but the 3 just ran them off their feet. I kept looking at the 2 going on. The 2's got measure about right here, but the race was over. Luis Saez did the right thing. And when we mentioned the one turf race, she got dead left. So she didn't really do any running. She got to stretch her legs today, and boom. This is a solid time, just a shade under 134 for the mile.
19-1, Malibu Stacy gets the victory, and we've talked about it several times. George Weaver, well, he comes out guns blazing at that Saratoga meet.
Yeah, every year. He has a positive ROI with a lot of starters every year. Guy does an amazing job, and I hope if you played the Naira Bets late pick 5, you played it through Naira Bets, because you could be eligible to have a chance to be the only winner for $300,000 with this horse winning at $40. Great call by Maggie. I can't say enough about how sharp her comments were before the race.
Great job by Maggie indeed, as we see Luis Saez in the saddle there on the 3 Malibu Stacy. Yeah, what a performance from this filly, getting out of distance, and she had the pedigree to do so.
No, she did. I mean, I actually bet her that one race. It was the first day back at Belmont in the fall because of the pedigree, but, you know, I should have listened to Maggie and doing that. I did throw her in some doubles, though, on Maggie's say-so, so big thanks to her.
Coming up next, the Grade 3 Saranac, and boy, what a race will it be right there. The number 4 you can see is Bricks and Mortar, and just behind him, the 5, Voodoo Song. And a couple of storylines in this race. Voodoo Song, well, will he get his 4th consecutive win here at Saratoga? And can he keep the magic alive? We'll find out right after this.
The graded stakes winning son of Bernardini is off to a sensational start at stud. Among the leading freshman sires by winners in graded stakes horses, his first crop 2-year-olds commanded prices up to 36 times his stud fee. Leading progeny include TD and Rising Star Recruiting Ready, second in the Bashford Manor Stakes, and stakes place performer Junket. The pedigree, speed, and class to become the next star in this sensational sire line. Algorithms at Claiborne Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use Naira Bets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. Naira Bets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NairaBets.com.
There's Malibu Stacy walking into the winner's circle, about to take her picture. This 4-year-old filly Bide Tisway out of a Malibu Moon mare transitions to distance the ground on the turf, and it's victorious, Paul, at 19-1.
Yeah, $41.20. Great job by Luis Saez taking the initiative, Jim and Susan Hill. And how about that? This horse had run 13 times without Lasix, ran last time with Lasix, improved second time, and boom shakalaka. If you had that pick 3, $770. So it's been tough sledding so far.
Another nice win for trainer George Weaver. And, of course, George Weaver coming up under the tutelage of the great D. Wayne Lucas, standing by with the trainer, Maggie.
Thank you, Gabby. And Malibu Stacy victorious here today, George, on the turf. I remember you saying before the Chrissy Cat last year, and maybe it was your assistant Blair Golan, that she just worked really well on the turf. So you gave her another shot today.
Yeah, last year we worked her on the grass, and she worked excellent, and we ran her in the race at Belmont, and she didn't pick her feet up, and I was scratching my head, and I said, well, I guess we'll go back to the dirt. And, you know, we've had some good races so far this year, but I decided to work her on the grass again the other day, and she did the same thing. She worked lights out, and I said, we've got to try it again. I'll just give her a little more distance, and so she's not under such a hustle, and see how she does.
Right, and she certainly did get brave out in the front end. I mean, she set some solid fractions, too.
She did. I mean, I was concerned about her being on a lead. Jim's not crazy about going to the front with some of these things. He likes to see him finishing. But, you know, even with the fast fractions, that you could see her ears prick down the backside. She was a pretty happy camper, so I was hopeful that she would hold on and keep going in the stretch.
Second half of her career on the turf?
Yeah, that did breathe some more life into her. I mean, it was a good time, 33 and change. And I don't think she needs the lead either. I just think it was tactically the way he felt, you know what he felt to do today. But definitely opens up some more doors for us.
Well, congratulations once again. Another winner for you, another big Saratoga.
Thank you, Maggie.
All right, Gabby.
Thanks, Maggie. Yep, George Weaver, well, he always gears up his horses to have a successful Saratoga meet. He's done it before, and, well, he's doing it once again here today, as well as he's just talking to people in the winner's circle, a place that he's well familiar with. Well, we've got the Grade 3 Saranac coming up next, our featured race of the day. And boy, what a race it will be. Not only do we have several coming out of the Hall of Fame in Bricks and Mortar and Yoshida, we also have Voodoo Song on here. Guys, this is going to be a good field.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Voodoo Song can wire this field. I highly doubt it, but speed is pretty dangerous in these turf courses.
Yeah, what gives here, you know? Voodoo Song 3 in a row, Bricks and Mortar, the 4 undefeated. Mr. Haverkamp, we don't know what we're getting with the 1. This thing could be any kind. I really think Rocketry is a nice horse. And Master Plan might be the best 18-1 shot, at least talent-wise, I've seen.
And Caviar Czar's dam is a half to a $2.5 million winner in Europe, so there's a lot happening here.
Oh, one of the storylines in this race is Voodoo Song taking the 3-peat so far at Saratoga. Can he do it again?
They're all way behind Voodoo Song. Voodoo Song's going to win it, and win it clear under the wire. The race is going to be for Voodoo Song. Vintage Matters running out of time. Voodoo Song holds on.
Voodoo Song has opened up to lead by 4. Navision Sky into second. And then toward the inside comes, in third position, Yummy Bear, followed by Mr. Harlan. But it is Voodoo Song to win it by a length and a half.
Well, that is Voodoo Song, and we know what his tactic might be today, and that's to go to the lead. A very fun horse to watch each and every time.
I just love horses like this and Black Tide, whose trainers and riders understand the value of speed, and they let their horses use it. Look at the last race where Browse was sort of rated for whatever reason, whether trainer instructions or the rider's decision, and she got absolutely nothing. Let horses do what they do well.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give this horse a little credit. I want to say the last race was his most impressive. He rated a little bit more. Obviously, with the 1 3/8 race, you had to break out there and open a little more. It's going to be a tough task. He's been facing New York breds too, but still, it's pretty cool that he's in this spot and in this position.
He's faced some solid horses, but this is big step.
Well, with the scratch of Mo Maverick in here, that'll move him forward, as Voodoo Song is going to be the pace setter. And could that be a problem for 2 horses coming out of the Grade 2 Hall of Fame most recently? As we take a look at the Hall of Fame, Yoshida and Bricks and Mortar going into the first turn.
Well, I mean, Yoshida loses ground the entire running of the race, and Bricks and Mortar is comfortably placed on the rail.
You're right. And it was a crafty move to me, by Rosario, because Rosario rushed his horse up to basically force Yoshida 3 wide.
Well, I actually talked to Irad Ortiz quite a bit after this race because he actually said to me, what did I do wrong? And I said, well, you're sort of between a rock and a hard place. And you'll see as they come into the stretch, Irad has to make a decision. Should I linger back and keep Bricks and Mortar locked in?
Yeah.
Or if I do that, am I going to run out of time to win the race and Big Handsome's going to win? And he really tried to time it as well as he did, and I think some of it was just bad luck.
It was bad luck. And now here's the other part about this, too. Big Handsome stings Yoshida. Big Handsome's a real horse. I think that's the other part of it. Because watch right here, Yoshida just can't put away Big Handsome because, like I said, he's a real horse. So now Bricks and Mortar is going to wheel out. Meanwhile, Macarios, the 6, had been wide most of the way. I thought showed pretty good courage. Can the horse win the race? He's going to be the 6 on this day or the 8 on this day. He makes up pretty good ground, but Yoshida just could never put away Big Handsome.
Well, Macarios could fill up a Trier Super in here, and Bricks and Mortar had a great trip, but he's also a horse that's 4 for 4, and he's adapted to different circumstance.
And look at the distance that was traveled, at least the added distance that Yoshida had to travel in 45 feet. And what do you make of this? I mean, obviously on the turf, you always want to save ground, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you'd like to travel the least amount of distance possible. Sometimes it's a bit overrated. Sometimes you want to be towards the outside, but in these races, it's meaningful.
Usually half the time I ran down to first base, I'd hit the wall at 45 feet.
I wouldn't make it that far.
Well, it's true. Macarios, he did seem to save ground going into the first turn. Yoshida, he was wide throughout. So
yeah. Yoshida, I think Yoshida is a better bet at 7-2 than Bricks and Mortar at 2-1.
And there's a look at the number 5 Voodoo Song as he hopes to continue his campaign. And as we said, this has not been done. 4 consecutive victories at one meet since 65 years ago when Native Dancer did it.
They just run them different, Andy. I mean, this is something, okay, in the 30s we saw a horse do it 5 times. It's still pretty amazing feat. We're in 2017. This doesn't happen anymore.
I'll tell you, it's incredible. Linda Rice has 2 horses to meet that have won 3 races this meet because she had that sprinter that won yesterday. That's an incredible achievement. You know, everybody focuses so much on the Todd Pletcher and Chad Brown fight with good reason. Don't ignore the kind of meet Linda Rice is having. Somebody who's the only person who recently defeated Todd Pletcher for the Saratoga title besides Chad Brown. She's got 15 wins. There aren't that many wins left after Todd and Chad.
And Linda Rice was mentioning yesterday that, you know, she had 2 options, whether she runs this horse in allowance or it gets bogged down 5 deep on the also eligible, or you run him in a stakes company. He's a horse that's been in good form.
You know what? You take a shot. You strike while the iron is hot. Good for Linda. I don't care where he finishes. This is the right move. And right now, the horse is 5-1, so she's not the only one that thinks she can win here.
Well, she knows how to win consecutive wins. Talking about Linda Rice, and Maggie standing by with her.
Yes, here in the paddock for the Saranac is Linda. You will send out Voodoo Song. And Linda, I mean, we've known that you can do this. How is Voodoo Song coming into this race?
He's coming in very well. You know, he really has trained well at Saratoga the entire meet. He likes the turf course here. It's firm, it's fast. He likes the 2 turns versus a 1-turn mile. And so he's coming in very well. It's a very tough race. It's a big step up in company, but we thought he deserved a shot.
Linda, will he be the speed here once again?
I would assume he will. You know, anything can happen, but plan A would probably be to put him on the lead.
Linda, the only other horse to do this, win 4 races at Saratoga, was Native Dancer. What would it mean to you to get this done?
Well, look, winning any race at Saratoga is fabulous. You know, 4 in a row, that'd be great. It'd be exciting. But any win's great in Saratoga.
Well, best of luck. We're rooting for you.
Thank you, Maggie.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Maggie. Well, of course, Linda Rice has done this before as well. Back in 2000, she won with cities at the Sanford, the Saratoga Special, and the Hopeful. Taking a look at Voodoo Song. Well, can he keep the momentum and make magic once again? It hasn't been done in over 60 years. We'll see if he can do it right after this.
The big day is here. You've told everybody. You've dressed the part. Your heart is pounding in your chest. Your horse is rolling down the stretch. He's coming. He's closing. He's the winner! You're a winner with Parting Glass Racing. PartingGlassRacing.com. PartingGlassRacing.wow.
You're watching Saratoga Live, and you're taking a look at the paddock, and that's exactly where you want to be here as we're approaching our feature race of the day, the Grade 3 Saranac. And, well, guys, it's going to be a good field. And we have the two Yoshida acting up a little bit in the paddock, but could he possibly turn the tables on Bricks and Mortar? And if so, what's he got to do?
Well, he's got to just beat him. I mean, he's probably going to be in a better position because with his two-post and Mr. Haverkamp and Voodoo Song having more speed than him, he should be able to tuck in the inside. Now, in all likelihood, Bricks and Mortar will be behind him. But he's a huge player in this race. And by the way, he's a crazy price at 4-1.
Crazy price. And I think he's feeling his oats. I don't know if he's acting up. I think he's feeling good. And he showed a lot more speed last time, Gabby. I think he's going to sit in that nice little spot. Unless Voodoo Song employs the same tactics two-back where he just goes and then stretches this field out, I just think that he sits a really good trip. Now, Bricks and Mortar, who sat the trip of all trips while Yoshida was wide, I'm surprised he's 9-5. I thought, okay, it's hard for me. You never leave out an undefeated horse. I mean, that's just the bottom line. But he was good last time.
People like ones, and he's undefeated. The thing about him is he's never been favored before, but he's won under a variety of different circumstances, including having to be too close to a slow pace 3 races back. He runs well every single time, but he has had some good trips. But he hasn't had perfect trips, Gabby, in all of his races.
Well, sometimes good horses create their own trips, and that's what I've seen from the 4 Bricks and Mortar. Pretty agile as well as we head out to the Maddock. Maggie, what could you tell us about Bricks and Mortar?
That he is one classy, honest horse. He does not impress you physically whatsoever. He's smaller, he's very unassuming, but you can just tell in the way he acts and the look in his eye that he's just pure racehorse, and I respect him fully in here, as he has yet to be respected on the tote board, as he has yet to be a favorite in any of his 4 races. Moving on to the Canadian Invader. That's number 1, Mr. Haverkamp here, for trainer Catherine Day Phillips, who's won this horse in the past with a horse by the name of Jambalaya. This horse is huge. And watching that last race, he was so utterly dominant and visually impressive that, well, he should garner some attention here. He looks to be a talented runner. I like what I'm seeing from him as he comes in from out of town. Now, moving on to one of 2 Todd Pletcher horses, that's going to be the bigger price of the duo. In number 6, Caviar Czar, 15-1 on this first-time turf horse. He is the son of Medaglia d'Oro. The dam herself was an okay turf horse. Bobby Flay had paid $1.1 million for her out of her races in France. When she came here, she wasn't that much to write home about. But I'm optimistic about Caviar Czar trying the turf here. He looks fantastic in the flesh. Gabby, his horses are making their way to the track for this Grade 3 Saranac.
Thanks, Maggie. This is going to be an incredible field. The 1, Mr. Haverkamp, though, towards the inside. Well, this horse kind of got a late start to the races. Obviously, he's going against others who have more conditioning than him, but you cannot overlook this performance.
Well, like Voodoo Song, he's getting the acid test today, and you have to be careful about being overly impressed by visually impressive wins against much weaker horses. But, Paul, I was overly impressed by his visually impressive win against weaker horses.
Yeah, this is a jog fest. You don't see this happen that much on the turf course. And I think a lot of people don't realize that the racing up in Woodbine is very competitive up in Ontario. It's
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And the race before that was ultra impressive too, because this horse got steadied ridiculously out of the gate and still won that race. Yeah, I mean, this is getting the test, but I tell you what, I give Catherine all the props. This horse deserves to get the test.
Well, she's won this race before, and she has a chance to win again. But this horse better have his running shoes on, and I picked him, and I bet him.
Well, not only that, too, we have a field of horses who've been facing strictly 3-year-old company. This horse got the opportunity to face older company last time out with his blowout victory up at Woodbine. And as you mentioned, Annie, Catherine Day Phillips, she won this race back in 2005 with Jambalaya, and she has not been back to Saratoga since.
That's pretty cool, actually. I guess she was waiting for the right horse. I don't know if Jambalaya beat horses like Bricks and Mortar and Yoshida.
Well, this post parade is brought to you by OCD Pellets, celebrating their 10th anniversary of supporting the equine industry with their 2-in-1 bone and joint supplement. For more information, visit OCDpellets.com. And as we look at the 1, Mr. Haverkamp making his way onto the track for Catherine Day Phillips, Joe Bravo in the saddle.
Figures to be sitting behind Voodoo Song. He's good. Is he this good?
2 horses coming out of the Grade 2 Hall of Fame last out. Yoshida is one of them, sent out by Bill Mott.
Got beat by bricks and mortar last time out in the Hall of Fame. Going to try to turn the tables. Might be in a better position today. Looking well on the racetrack.
Another horse, the 3 Master Plan, sent out by Todd Pletcher. Javier Castellano in the saddle, less seen in the Grade 3 Kent.
His races on the turf are not good enough to beat the field he's facing today.
Oh, that's a look at the 4 Bricks and Mortar. He is currently undefeated. Can he keep that momentum for trainer Chad Brown?
Maggie made a great point. Is this a curse that he's the favorite? The 4 times he's won, he has not been the favorite.
Voodoo Song, well, he's already won 3 times here at Saratoga. Can he make it a 4th at 7-1?
Won a $40,000 claimer the second day of the meet. Now he's facing graded stakes horses.
Caviar Czar, sent out by Todd Pletcher, and owner Bobby Flay making his turf debut today.
Now, he was a main track only horse last time out, and he won nicely, but he has a pedigree to handle the turf. Not the worst, 14-1 shot.
Macarios, a bit of a wide trip last time out in the Hall of Fame. Sent out today, though, by Nick Cito. Luis Saez in the saddle.
He's going to have to hope that this race completely falls apart. But at 24-1, I think he can pick up the pieces for 3rd or 4th here.
Centennial Farm sends out the 9 Rocketry, conditioned by Jimmy Jerkins.
He's talented. Is a 1 1/8 too short for him?
Yeah, you know what? I'm in love with the 9, but you make a phenomenal point. I'm watching his replays and looking at the racing form. I wanted to come here and really push on this horse till Mo Maverick scratch. Because I think you're right, Andy, that the 1 1/8 might be a tiny bit too short, but this horse is talented.
I don't disagree. I think he has a very interesting race because you've got the 2 main horses in Yoshida as well as Bricks and Mortar. But you're adding in horses like Rocketry, who's cutting back, and he's been good. You're adding the speed horse Voodoo Song, who's sort of the horse of the meet. And you're adding the new face from Canada, and Mr. Haverkamp. These are the kind of races that make the racing in Saratoga the best racing in the country.
I could not echo those sentiments anymore. As we take a look at the 4 Bricks and Mortar, as we mentioned, he's undefeated currently as it stands, and surprisingly so, he's never gone off as the post-time favorite. Very surprising considering the connections.
Yeah, and it's interesting. There's a lot at stake in the next couple of races. Obviously, you've got Chad Brown, who's 1 ahead of Todd Pletcher. You've got Klarovich Stables, who's tied with Michael Dubb. And they've got this horse, and they also have, of course, a battle in the spin-away. So a lot going on. The battles within the battles.
It is. That's a good way of putting it. And he's an overachiever. You see all the young fans out here. What a great crowd. Lining up the apron so they can watch the horses up close. But you know what about Bricks and Mortar, Gabby? There's been like 3 of those 4 times he did not look like the winner. That horse has a lot of want, and I think that's why he's undefeated.
This is a very good horse, Bricks and Mortar. I don't care what he does today.
Well, including his last race. So I guess the argument could be posed. So we always want to take a devil's advocate approach for a 3-2 favorite here. He saved ground the entire way. So that could maybe work against him.
Yeah, but he overcame a slow pace, even though he saved ground 2 races back.
And the one, Mr. Haverkamp, will have to draw the rail post today. And he's lightly conditioned. He has to get added distance, rail post. And where do you figure to be this? Where do you figure to see this horse in the big picture of the pace?
Sitting second.
I think so. It has to be. I mean, the first race is even more freaky than the second. I mean, this horse could be anything. Complete wild card, this horse. I can't wait to watch him run, actually.
I agree.
Well, he's a horse that has limited starts, but clearly a lot of talent as we go out to Maggie, who's standing by with the connections.
Right, with Mr. Sean Fitzhenry here in the boxes, Gabby. And Sean, looking at Mr. Haverkamp, he's a horse that maybe didn't show you a lot of promise as you do breed your horses, but you tried to sell him for $19,000 as a yearling at the Fasig-Tipton October sale.
Well, Catherine really liked him, and she strongly recommended we didn't sell him, and I'm glad we didn't.
He's worked out quite nicely so far in his 2 starts. Talk about his last performance up in Canada at Woodbine. Visually, it was pretty spectacular.
I don't think we've ever had a horse do that before. It was awesome to watch. We knew he was a good horse, but we didn't realize he was that good. His kick in that race was... It was like he did it for fun.
And so that winning him...
It was fun.
Right. And coming here for the Saranac as well, winning a ticket for him here. And as an owner breeder, how special is it to watch these horses from the day they're born and make it here to Saratoga?
This is absolutely awesome. It's the first time we've run at Saratoga, and we're thrilled to death. We're thrilled to death.
Well, Sean, best of luck here in the Saranac.
Thank you, Maggie.
Gabby?
Thanks, Maggie. And what an incredible story. They tried to sell this horse for $19,000 at the sale. He didn't meet the asking price, so they decided to hold on to him for a little bit. And they had some issues at 2, but then obviously proved very talented at 3. So this is a competitive field. Andy, how do you approach this race?
I told you, Paul, we were supposed to go to that sale.
Patience
You blew
is a
it. You're the
virtue.
one. You told me
Patience
not
is
to
a
go
virtue,
there.
Andy Sterling.
I'm betting the one, Mr. Haverkamp. That's all there is to it. And I'm rooting for that guy, right? Did he seem like a good guy? I'm taking a shot. Is 5-1 a great price? No. But I think he's an interesting horse.
He is an interesting horse, and good stuff there by Maggie. They bred this horse. This is awesome to have a horse like this. I'm going with Rocketry at 5-1. So we're both taking prices. Again, I'm surprised Bricks and Mortar is your favorite, but like Andy says, a lot of the public likes to see ones.
And there's a look at the crowd that's on hand here today for obviously Woodward Day, Spinaway Day, and Saranac, too. What a field this is. And we'll see the 2 on your screens. Yoshida here for trainer Bill Mott. This horse has shown a lot of potential. And, guys, yeah, he probably got the right setup in the Jimmy Murphy. But since then, doesn't he kind of look like a horse that will improve with distance and experience, too?
I wonder about the distance because he didn't get the 1.25 miles, actually 2 back in the Belmont Derby. So that was a little disappointing. So maybe he is a horse that's better than -16. So it is actually a reasonable question.
It is a reasonable question. And was his bobble start for real last time? Did that take the little bit of a sting out of him? Now, we were wondering in the paddock whether he was acting up or not. And looks like he's okay, a little bit on his toes, but he's starting to come down in price, and he's starting to take some action here late at 5-2.
And I believe Yoshida has had a tendency to kind of get a little worked up on the track in the Jimmy Murphy, even in the Belmont Derby 2 starts back. So we'll see. And the 6, though, Caviar Czar, he's making his turf debut. What do you make of the fact that he was entered main track only last time out, and now they're deciding to go to the turf?
Either Todd Pletcher, despite the pedigree, thought he was not a turf horse or he made a mistake because the Dam is a half, the Duke of Marmalade, who won $2.5 million over in Europe. There is significant pedigree for this horse to handle the dirt in the Dam side, and you've got Medaglia d'Oro. So it'll be interesting to see what he does today because I tell you what, if he wins this race, I'm sure Bobby Flay will be excited, but then maybe he has to say to Todd Pletcher, why did we wait so long?
Well, that's the question that I was going to ask you. So Bobby Flay actually owned the mare, and she was a multiple winner on the turf. So why so long?
It's a very good question. When the horse runs 7th, we'll say that's why. When he wins, we'll say they're dopes.
I think Bobby just loves it. It says Mr. B. Flay under the breeder.
We'll take a look at the 5 Voodoo Song here behind the gate for trainer Linda Rice. And, of course, this is an interesting story in that he has won 3 consecutive races here at Saratoga. Will he be able to make it 4? Bunch of storylines here as we also see the 4 Bricks and Mortar. He's undefeated going into this race. Can he keep the momentum in here as well? And how will the pace unfold? Will we see Voodoo Song get back to his usual running style and open up on the field? Lots of excitement for our feature race of the day, the Grade 3 Saranac, as we headed up to Larry Colmus for the call.
Bricks and Mortar taking his spot in the starting gate here at 8-5 odds. And Rocketry completes the line. They're all in line and ready for a start. They're off in the Saranac. Bricks and Mortar did not have the best of beginnings, and it's Voodoo Song out there to take the early lead. Caviar Czar gets into second early. Mr. Haverkamp is third. Rocketry is fourth on the outside, and then at the rail it's Yoshida. Bricks and Mortar squeeze just a bit at the break, is 10 lengths off the lead, racing outside of Master Plan. Macarios is the trailer. Voodoo Song out there doing what he does, opening up a 5-length lead on his competition around that first turn. The first quarter mile as they race on to the backstretch, led by Voodoo Song, who's got a 5.5-length lead here. And then it's Caviar Czar on the outside, running along in second position, followed by Mr. Haverkamp in third as they go to the backstretch. Break of another 3 to Rocketry, racing on the outside of Yoshida. Bricks and Mortar in behind them. Then it's Master Plan and Macarios. So it is Voodoo Song and Jose Lezcano with a 4-length lead up the backstretch. They continue to lead the way over Caviar Czar, who's head-and-head with Mr. Haverkamp, and they're 2.5 clear of Rocketry. There goes Bricks and Mortar now. Bricks and Mortar rallies up on the outside, takes fourth, about to move into second, and about to get up on the outside of Voodoo Song as they make their way around the far turn. Voodoo Song confronted by Bricks and Mortar, and Voodoo Song responds. Voodoo Song has responded to this challenge, opens up once again to lead by a length. Bricks and Mortar made a run at him, but Voodoo Song opens up by 2. On the outside, Rocketry is next. Caviar Czar, Mr. Haverkamp along the rail, and Yoshida. Voodoo Song's got another furlong to run. He's got a 2-length lead. Bricks and Mortar's trying again. Yoshida storming down the center of the course. Voodoo Song by 2. Yoshida coming. Voodoo Song. Here comes Yoshida. Here comes the wire. Voodoo Song loves the spa. He won the Saranac over Yoshida, Bricks and Mortar, and Rocketry in a final time of 1 minute 44.41 seconds. That would be a course record.
Wow, Voodoo Song with the victory, taking the field wire to wire, something that has not been done in over 60 years since Native Dancer got 4 consecutive victories here at Saratoga. Voodoo Song goes back to back to back to back.
Yeah, I'm speechless. I'm going to take the final time with a grain of salt, considering the fractions are completely wrong on the screen. So let's not declare it a track record until we find out what the actual times were. I don't care. This was amazing. They came to him, and Bricks and Mortar, obviously, a ridiculous trip. Yoshida looked like he was running them all down, but Voodoo Song just never stops.
Yeah, you know, Joel Rosario seemed like he was the only one that was realizing, hey, you guys better start going after Voodoo Song here. So he quickened up the pace, and it confused everything. And actually, it made the 5 have to dig deeper. I tell you what, the 2's never going by, and not even on the gallop out, he never went by. I can't believe this horse just pulled this off. And what a training job by Linda Rice.
Wow, we saw her do it with City Zip, but only 3 victories in a row here at Saratoga after winning the Sanford Saratoga Special and the Hopeful. And, well, she did it even better with Voodoo Song. We can see her walking into the winner's circle. And it'll be interesting to see and go back to the start, because we did see Voodoo Song kind of veer in the beginning.
Well, the reality is that Voodoo Song cut off Bricks and Mortar at the start and eliminated his chances. And these shenanigans at the start are getting a little tiresome here. The same horse with the same trainer and same rider yesterday cut off the 3 at the start in the same way. It doesn't seem random to me, and we will show you the head of the start, and you are going to see that the horse who finished first here absolutely eliminated Bricks and Mortar out of the gate, Paul.
Yeah, you have to see whether there's any kind of contact or not, but here it is right here in the 5. Yeah,
come on.
Sort of gets the jersey squeeze between the 3 and the 5. 3 comes out a tiny bit. 5 goes to the front end. But listen, we saw Byron win the Breeders' Cup Classic, and he took out about 17 horses. So Voodoo Song, I don't think anything's going to happen here. Bricks and Mortar by far was the best horse, but he didn't cross the finish line first. And Voodoo Song again bucks the trend here. And you know what, Gabby? I'm wrong. This was the better race. I mean, I thought he's run better each time, which is crazy. This horse has run better each time.
Exactly. He keeps on moving up and up the ladder. And, well, Linda Rice, she said he's a horse that's just thrived up here. Instead of running him an allowance race, why not take a shot against Graded Stakes Company? And it looked like that shot paid off with Voodoo Song. But it is interesting to see him coming out of the gate, and we'll see how it all unfolds. But this was a phenomenal performance from Voodoo Song, as we can see Linda Rice standing by with the winning owner, Barry Schwartz, as well. Jose Lezcano in the saddle for Voodoo Song. Went back to his usual tactics, opening up on the field by several lengths, taking the field wire to wire and letting everybody chase in his wake. 4 consecutive victories, and this one, the Grade 3 Saranac.
Summer of Dreams 4 is back at Foxwoods, and we've got guaranteed millions in cash and prizes up for grabs. Sign up free for Foxwoods Rewards and earn points playing our World Series of Poker and the Big Dream Slot Tournament with Mario Lopez. Also, try our new skill-based slots. Then, use your points for summer wonders like Lobster Madness, golf at the Lake of Isles, and shop the region's only indoor Tanger outlets. Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all. Find your wonder now at foxwoods.com.
back on Saratoga Live in a packed house here at Saratoga on Woodward Day, and an exciting finish. Voodoo Song making it 4 victories in a row up here at Saratoga, taking the Grade 3 Saranac, going wire to wire. What an exciting finish here, and what a moment for the connections as well.
This is pretty cool. How about this? Voodoo Song's made $300,000 at the meet. Congratulations to Mr. Schwartz and English Channel out of the Unbridled Song Mare Mystic Chance. $300,000 in one meet.
He just keeps on getting better and better as we take a look at the pick 5 momentarily here. And the total pool there, $246,000. Look at those prices to start things off. $41.20 with Malibu Stacy, $14.40 with Voodoo Song.
If you are alive in this Naira Bets late pick 5, let me say it again. I hope you bet it through Naira Bets because you have a real shot to be the only winner for $300,000.
And here's the thing: if you have bricks and more, if you have separation of powers or gun ready, you do not care. You just need to get it home now because you got your 2 prices.
Exactly. We've got more to come here, but first we head down to the winner's circle, standing by with Maggie, some very excited connections.
And Voodoo Song came home to a big round of applause here, and this is the story of the meet. Linda, job well done. Quite a training feat to get Voodoo Song to win 4 races and now a graded stake.
Yes, very exciting. It's quite a thrill. You know, he's been a terrific horse this meet. We've enjoyed 3 terrific wins, but nothing like this one. It was really special. And Barry and Cheryl were here for it. They were supposed to go to the West Coast, and they stayed for it. So anyway, it's terrific.
Well, Barry, I'm glad you did stay, and I interviewed you after his last win, which was 10 days ago, extended layoff. You said the Saranac. I thought you were joking.
No, well, Linda said there's one more shot at the end of the meet. To give him 10 days, it's a graded stake. I said, let's go for it. So here we are. We decided not to go to California for a while, and I'm very glad I stayed. I mean, this was very exciting, and I think the fans really loved the fact that they've got a horse that won 4 races up here. It's something to root for. I mean, it's really extraordinary. It was an extraordinary training job by Linda.
And certainly got goosebumps as he came back to the winner's circle here. He was so amazing. Everybody appreciates him. Do you realize that this hasn't been done in 65 years, and the last horse to do it was the great native dancer?
Was it really? They told me that. I remember, well, I don't want to give my age away, but I've been following horses for a long time. And believe it or not, I remember Native Dancer getting beat by Dark Star in the 1953 Derby. I mean, it was like he got knocked down at the start. He was last. He came flying, and he just came a neck short. So to be even mentioned in the same sentence with Native Dancer, that's a great honor.
And Cheryl, Voodoo Song, you let him in. Quite a thrill.
Not sit in my seat. I still can't catch my breath. I stood by the steps and just screamed. I feel, along with Linda's obvious accomplishment, I got him home.
Your voice, he ran to your voice.
That's my voice. He heard my voice.
Well, Linda, I'm sure this is just capping off an excellent meet for you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Maggie.
Barry, congratulations too.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
What a wonderful win here with Voodoo Song, guys, in the Saranac.
Absolutely, Maggie. And Barry and Cheryl Schwartz, well, they've definitely won many races in the past, but that just goes to show you any win at Saratoga is incredibly exciting.
It's pretty cool. I mean, Barry just showing you how good of a horse racing fan is. He remembers Native Dancer getting beat in the Derby. Some good stuff there.
Barry's a big racing fan, no doubt.
Yeah, he is.
Trophy presentation there with Jose Lezcano, who has guided this horse to all of those victories as well. And you have to give credit to Jose Lezcano too, because he just creates that separation in the field.
You mentioned it yesterday. You told me he was having a good meet, Jose Lezcano, Andy. And he has. A lot of his races have been on the turf course. He's had him and Manuel Franco, besides the Ortiz brothers, Manuel Franco and Jose Lezcano have had solid meets.
Especially on the turf there, Jose Lezcano. I agree with you, Paulie. Taking a look here at the winner's circle, but wanted to talk about what's coming up next here. Won't be on our show, but of course the Grade 1 Spinaway and the Grade 1 Woodward are coming up later today. 7-5 right now on separation of powers, but she's going to have a main foe to beat in Pure Silver, and even Lady Ivanka, guys.
It's interesting. Lady Ivanka's taking a lot of money, not surprising. I'm looking at the pick 3 payouts, and separation of powers is a big favorite. This is going to be a fun race, a small field, but there's some talented runners near. Separation of powers, the way she won her debut, she could be one of the ones.
No, I'm with you. She could be one of the ones. I think today you're going to find out who your Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies favorite's going to be. I think this thing's the real deal in separation of the powers, the way she moved down the stretch. She's all arms and legs, and she doesn't really know what she's doing yet. She's going to have to be 2 really nice fillies in here, but I think she's the real deal. I'm with Andy here. I think this horse is the real.
I can remember Maggie saying that she didn't look a lot like 2. She looked more of a 3-year-old. And this is going to be a great field. Of course, we also have the Grade 1 Woodward. Well, the Woodward is more of a difficult race than the Whitney. What do you make of Gunrunner?
I think he's way the horse to beat, but I'm going to take a small shot to beat him with Neolithic.
I'm on the same page. 1-2, buckle my shoe.
We're going to go to break here, and when we come back, we'll talk more about the Grade 1 Spinaway and the Grade 1 Woodward. More left to come after this commercial break.
Undefeated in sprint competition, Eclipse champion Run Happy captured 3 Grade 1 victories and set blistering speed records at both Keeneland and Saratoga. In the Breeders' Cup Sprint, he dominated the world's fastest runners, going 6 furlongs in a record-breaking 108 and change. The only horse nominated for 3 Eclipse awards, Run Happy was crowned champion male sprinter, all the while racing 100% drug-free. Champion, millionaire, record-breaker, Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Visit the new Rivers Casino and Resort, the Capital Region's only destination for live table game action and where the hottest new slots are paying out millions. Sign up for Rush Rewards and play up to $500 in slots on us. Plus, we'll double any casino offer and match your tier. Rivers Casino and Resort.
Eclipse Award winner Blame retired to stud with more than $4.3 million in earnings, including a historic victory over Zenyatta in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now he's making a name for himself as an internationally successful stallion. In 2017, his top runners include stakes winner No Fault of Mine, Japanese star Resonator, and classic winner Singa, the dominant victor of this year's Grade 1 French Oaks. Blame at Claiborne Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use Naira Bets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. Naira Bets, racing's best play. Use promo code PICK5 to get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NairaBets.com.
Back on Saratoga Live in the Grade 3 Saranac. Well, that's in the books, but we still have more action left to come as we've got 2 Grade 1s coming up with the Grade 1 Spinaway and the Grade 1 Woodward. Can Gunrunner continue the streak? We will find out, but first, welcome back. We've got 2 excellent Grade 1s still lined up, and what a field the Spinaway is going to be.
It'll be very interesting to see how this sets things up for later this year, because obviously it has big implications. The Grade 1 Frizette we're running at Belmont Park and the Breeders' Cup as well. And separation of powers could be that good. So could Lady Ivanka.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Lady Ivanka was giant last time. I think separation of powers did it a lot easier. Lady Ivanka might have got a little bit more out of it, but just the way this filly was moving, and Gabby, it was just with ease. I just don't see it. I think she can even rate and go by these horses.
To be fair, she was on a rail that was very good that day to take, as you say, the devil's advocate approach. And Lady Ivanka got a very nice trip running by a horse that came back and did, went to the lead and collapsed
yeah.
in another race at a short price. So everybody has to go out and prove something. I mean, that's horse racing.
Well, let's talk about the 4 Pure Silver here, because this is a filly that's very fast. So strategy-wise, guys, do you think that Pure Silver is going to be in the lead, or do you think Separation of Powers is going to go?
If Separation of Powers breaks, there's no way this horse can go unless she's in an all-out drive. She got the lead last time because the other speeds didn't break, she rode a gold rail. She's done well, but think about 2 races back. I Still Miss You. She came back in a New York bred stake earlier in the meet, and she was absolutely nowhere. I think she's vulnerable. My plan here is to box 1-3-5 in the try and key the 1 over the 3-5 in the try and try to beat this horse.
I'll give one thing to this horse is that the horse has been professional. Was not ready for the start last time and broke like a shot. It says lost footing. I didn't see lost footing. The horse broke on top. So I give the horse credit because the horse has been good, straight, has done nothing wrong, and it's 3 for 3. So, but I think talent-wise, below the talent of the one, because the horses that this horse has been beating have come back and run awful.
But she does have the advantage of being posted outside than this talented filly, the #1 Separation of Powers, with only 1 career start. It was explosive. And, guys, this was one of the most impressive 2-year-old performances we've seen at the meet.
No, I totally agree with that. Once again, she had the track in her favor. She did break from the inside that day and broke very, very sharply, so hopefully she can do it again for a connection.
And listen, the pedigree, Candy Red of an Empire, the farther they go, I mean, this is a paid workout. It was a paid workout. And here's the thing. Usually sometimes you'll see these horses win like this. Ears are forward and they get, what, a 75 buyer? No. If they press the button on this horse, what kind of buyer does she get?
Well, Jose Ortiz, I saw him in the winner's circle after the race, and he came by, and he was sort of amazed, and he said to me, I feel like something to the effect of, I feel like she was only running 50% to capacity. So who knows?
There looks like there's a lot left more in the tank, and talking about those 2 fillies, well, it's going to be a tight race to the finish as we see Chad Brown right here with 38 victories, Todd Pletcher with 37, and I do think that this is a very important race in terms of the trainer title.
No, this is important for a lot of things. Obviously, Chad Brown, the 1-win lead over Todd Pletcher. If Lady Ivanka wins this race, Michael Dubb will assume the control of the owner's title and may be tough to catch. If Separation of Powers wins, Klarovich Stables has the lead. Lady Ivanka was good. Who did she beat?
Yeah, that's the thing. She got left, and she was under the drive. So you're seeing 2 different replays by 2 horses that are winning very easily. You're seeing Irad Ortiz getting into his horse. Some people will go, okay, I like that. She responded to the whip. She was able to get away. But if you're comparing visually to the backtracks, the 1's superior to the 3. But take nothing away when you win by 8 landings.
And Rudy Rodriguez has very good numbers with horses that won their debuts when they come back in their second starts. And he did the same thing for Michael Dubb a number of years ago with Splashtastic, the horse who, of course, won the race that was Tom Durkin's final call, I believe.
You know what I do like about this horse, Gabby? That the horse didn't break great and got pushed 3 wide into position. A lot of first-time starters then will stop. He just kept going.
Well, that's a look at the 1 Separation of Powers. And she's currently standing at 6-5, so taking all the money. But, guys, we'll talk about the other Grade 1 race on the card, and that is the Woodward. And Gun Runner, 2-5 morning line favorite. Can anybody run with him, or does he just wire the field?
This is the most stern test that he has had during his current streak. He's facing a serious Todd Pletcher horse in the inside, Neolithic, who's involved in the fast pace in the Pegasus, and he's facing a runner outside him, Gun Runner, that ran a huge race to win it, Rally Cry last start. But there's no doubt he's been tremendous.
No, he has been. You see Breaking Lucky trying to take a shot at him and trying to win the race. I give the jockey credit, and then Keen Ice is just going to pick up the pieces. But this has been Gun Runner all along. Flo hits him a couple times, but it looks like his workouts. He's almost turning into somewhat of a machine. I'm with Andy, though. He's going to get the acid test day. Neolithic, the more I kept looking at that last race, he was giant last time, and he's a real horse since they put blinkers on. I think he's a little bit better than Rally Cry, and then Rally Cry is coming off a dynamite effort. He's going to get the test, but they're going to have to run to beat him.
Well, it's going to be an incredible race once again here for the Grade 1 Woodward. Can Gun Runner do it again? He took the Whitney. Will he take the Woodward? That is to be determined. Today you can take part in a special promotion. The All Stakes the all-stakes cross-country pick 4, including racing from Saratoga and Del Mar. If you play it through Naira Bets, you'll earn a 10% winner's bonus on the pick 4 that starts with race 10, the spinaway, and what a show it was. We saw the grade 3 Saranac won by Voodoo Song. This horse came to Saratoga with only 1 career victory, and well, he's leaving with 5 victories, 4 consecutive victories here at Saratoga, something that has not been done in 65 years. An incredible day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the correct final time for the Saranac was 1 minute 46.18 seconds. It was not a course record, 1:46.18.